Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, people from all over. Karibuni sana to this fantastic show we are about to have. I know you are doing so well, and the Lord God has kept you. It's another beautiful Monday, and we start it here at Kenya News Link. We start it live with you, and I hope you are well. Karibu sana wajuzi wawili watatu kwa kusubscribe na pia kwa kulike na kushare hii video. Tunao show moja murwa fiti sana. Hii show ni kali. Show yako show fiti ndo hiyo tu imeanza. We are about to have a very interesting conversation. This is one you don't want to miss. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a show you don't want to seriously miss. I know you are driving to work. I know you are boarded in a matatu going back to work. Ndio umeamka ama ndio tu umejiwekelea kwa kitanda ama ndio tu umefika kazini, lakini unapofika tu hivi ndio hii show yako nayo imeanza tayari kukujuza mawili matatu yanayojiri hapa nchini na mengi ambayo yanatukia hapa nchini Kenya. Karibu sana, this is Kenya News Link. This is your home of such informative content. Karibu tu sana. I know you are fantastic. I'm about to discuss a lot. Me together with the great panelists. I'm telling you, show ya leo ni moja moto. Hii haufai kukosa. Hii haufai kukosa. One Rigathi Gachagua is saying he's ready to lose his seat. Ako tayari kupoteza kiti chake cha unaibu wa rais. You remember one time Raila Odinga lost his as many would say, alipoteza kiti chake cha urais kwa sababu ya story ya Mao. Okay? Now William Ruto pia alijaribu kusema ya kwamba msituni ama msitu wa Mao ndio ulifanya Raila Odinga kupoteza kiti. Sasa Rigiji amekuja na story ya kwamba kwa sababu anang'ang'ana kuambia watu waachane na pombe, hiyo ndio itamfanya atoke katika kiti chake cha Deputy President. But is that really the reason? That's what we'll be looking at this morning, and equally tutakuwa tunaangalia changamoto ambazo ziko katika chama cha ODM. Asante sana wewe ambaye unajiunga nami. Ni kweli kuna changamoto hapo ODM kwa sababu Raila Odinga anasafiri ama anatoka Kenya kwenda kuwa chairperson wa AUC. All right, now that creates a vacuum in several dimensions, which we'll be looking at. It creates a vacuum in ODM. It creates a vacuum in Azimio. It creates a vacuum in Luo Nyanza politics. And all that is what we are going to be looking at this fantastic morning. So it is a packed show ready for you to enjoy and really follow through. We are asking ourselves, what happens in the exit of Raila Odinga? What happens to ODM? ODM has been in existence from 2005. What really happens to it? Will it stand the storm and overcome the challenges that comes with the exit of Raila Odinga? A party is as good as its party leader. Raila Odinga has had shoes that no one has been able to fit, but he has fronted two candidates, one Wycliffe Ambetsa Umparanya, and the other one is one Hassan Joho. Among the two, who is even able to really take the party forward? We saw yesterday photos of one Hassan Joho together with Ledama Olekina, one Babu Wino, and of course, yours truly, Junet Mohammed. What does that even mean? What could they be planning? Are we going to see a shift in leadership and maybe young folks and young tax will be brought on board? Is that the trajectory ODM is seeking to take? What happens to the likes of Akina John Badi, Akina likes of Akina leader of minority, Opio Wandai? What happens to them? What happens to the whole lot of previous leaders who have really been active in ODM, the senators, the governors from Luo Nyanza? What happens to them? Because Wycliffe comes from Western, and of course Joho comes from the coast. What happened to that whole generation of leaders who come from that region? But let's begin from here. Gachagua has said that in 2027, si lazima, it's not a must awe kwa debe, si lazima awe running mate. Now this is coming few days after the president has said that probably it's time that when a man is the candidate, the running mate should be a woman. And that equally sent some tongue waggings. Watu walianza kuulizana, hey, is it possible that the president wants to replace one Rigathi Gachagua? Listen to this even as I bring you the newspapers together, as I bring you the panelists to inform you in this show. Listen in even as we begin. Karibu sana. This is Kenya Newslink. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Has said he will not stop the fight against illicit alcohol, even if it means him losing his job.
Well, Gachagua revealed that he is facing strong opposition in his quest to tame the manufacture, sale, and consumption of killer brews in the country. Martin Munene has more.
Deputy President Gachagua joined the PCEA Gateway Church in Roysambo for a Sunday service and the induction of a new parish minister, David Chege. At the service, Gachagua explained the government's commitment in the fight against illicit alcohol.
Kuna mtu atakubaliwa kutengeneza sumu kuiita ati ni pombe auzie watoto wetu. Kwa hivyo hizi factory zote ilikuwa nauza hizo mapombe tumesimamisha for 21 days. They apply afresh.
Gachagua saying that there are powerful forces opposed to the fight, but his resolve was unwavering, even if it means putting his job as deputy president on the line.
Wengine wanajaribu kuniuzia uoga mimi. Oh, deputy president, unajua hii watu ya pombe ni kali sana. Wewe na ni mtu ya kuchaguliwa. Si watu watakufukuza vile walifukuza Mutudho. So mimi niseme namna hii. Kama hii kiti itapotea kwa sababu ya kusema watoto wetu hatutakubali wauziwe sumu, niko tayari.
The nation's second in command saying it is the responsibility of leaders to ensure they lead a sober population.
There is no pride in leading a drunken nation. There is no pride in leading people with broken families. There is no pride in leading people who cannot work. We want to lead families. We want to deal decent people.
Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja saying that the Nairobi County government has closed down 120 liquor outlets operating within bus parks to avert accidents caused by drunk drivers.
Got a report from NTSA that showed the fatalities. Nairobi is leading because of accidents caused by drunk driving, and so we've removed around 120 outlets that are at the termini.
And in Nyamira County, all bars and liquor vending outlets have been closed for the past 1 week pending license renewal. Locals have been asked to participate in giving views during the licensing process starting on Monday amidst an outcry from the bar owners.
Wale ambao watapewa mahali ambapo wanajua sheria inakataa tutazifunga. Hata ukipata license na iwe iko mahali sheria imekataa bado tutaifunga. Kwa hivyo usipoteze pesa yako bure.
Hata kama walikuwa wanataka
President William Ruto on Thursday hinted at the possibility of the ruling United Democratic Alliance fielding a female running mate in the near future. Speaking during the launch of the G7 strategy in Nairobi, he said actualizing the two-thirds gender role should start from the national government, arguing that the move resonates with his vision on gender equity. Top female leaders attended the event as Grace Nganga starts us off.
March 7th, 2024 will remain a historic moment for Kenya as G7 strategy was officially launched by President William Ruto, a testament of the power of women's solidarity aimed at increasing participation and inclusion of women in political leadership.
But let me encourage you that what women governors are doing, they are doing more campaign than any campaign can be done. In the good job they are doing in their counties, they are not only inspiring other women to be leaders, but they are making it easier for the country to elect women the next time round.
To increase the number of women governors from the current G7. It's not just a story. We're not just sitting here having this conversation and then going back to our homes. We have a strategy cut out for the next 3 years.
The president affirmed that radical strategies will be pursued to actualize the constitution's gender inclusion threshold, tasking UDA party chairperson Cecily Mbarire to formulate a new set of laws that will require a male presidential candidate to have a female running mate and vice versa.
Going forward, If a man is a candidate for president in our party, the woman must be the running mate. And if a woman is the candidate, then a man can be a running mate.
Further acknowledging that women supported his presidential ambition as compared to men, the president urged men to be the biggest champions of protecting women against female genital mutilation.
All right. And with me, I'm equally joined by two fantastic gentlemen. I know they are with me. Najua watawasha kamera zao, waone sura zao. We are about to discuss this interesting conversation that it began like this. And if there's something I've learned about William Ruto, he throws something to the fire. And then kidogo kidogo unaanza kuona flames na inashika kasi, and then you never know what comes out. Now, Mr. G, Mr. Alex, I don't know if guys can wash your camera so that our viewers can see you, and equally we can continue with the show. I'm about to ask you gentlemen something that is interesting. Rigathi Gachagua says he's willing, he's ready, he is willing and ready to step down or to quit as a DP. Now, he's using that tactic of saying, nilitolewa kwa sababu ya kupigana na pombe. This is not the first time our country is fighting illicit drugs or illicit brew. But how comes it's now that he's saying he's willing or even he's ready, if that is what will cause him to lose his seat, he's willing to lose it? Let me ask you, Bwana G, is it worth it to say that he's willing to lose the seat kwa sababu ya pombe, or there is more than what he's willing to let out to us as wananchi?
I think, okay, how are you, Mr. Jex and Mr. Alex?
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good. To our viewers too, I greet you guys and I welcome you to our show. Okay, on the question that Alex, Mr. Jex, you have brought up, I think there's something that Nani amegundua, that Deputy President amegundua na ameona. So, on the issue of losing his seat, what I know is that, okay, with our normal life, when tunafanya kazi zetu and our economy, the way it works, sometimes what naona ni kama economy, sometimes kuna kwa build up haraka sana na watu wa nini. Let me say, those bus kuna kiangia sana for economy to grow kwa sababu that is whereby money na circulate haraka kwa ba, and watu wengi wanapenda kusit, that is the best. Okay, to me, I don't, siwezi fanya kazi ya bar, siwezi uza hiyo bar with my own, hiyo ni kwangu personally, that is my own personally. But ukienda kwa ukweli ni kwa it's a business that ina gather a lot of people, and wakati wana gather money inakuwa circulated, and most of the time economy huwa inakuwa affected with such business iko mahali. So unapata kwa sahi wakati zimefungwa, more so like in central Kenya, wakati imefungwa, it affects circulation of money kiasi, and also it affects economy kiasi in that area, and that's why unaona mtu kama nani anaanza kukuja, mtu kama Gachagua akija, anaona ni kama watu wameanza kuwa against yeye kwa sababu business zao zimekuwa affected, wanaona ni kama wanakuwa ruined, alafu Gachagua anaona ni kama yeye ndo anakuwa the cause of what is happening. So obviously lazima atakuja aanze kujitetea, lakini sasa kujitetea anajaribu kuwa mzuri kwa the common mwananchi, aseme kuwa yeye amekuja kutoa, kwa sababu kuna watu wanatumia the same business kuua watoto wao kule. So he's using that chance to stop the killings, which is true. Kuna watu wamekunywa pombe wakakuwa blind, kuna watu wamekunywa pombe wakakufa recently, hata mwezi jaisha watu wamekufa. So wakati anaongea, he has a target akiongea hivyo. But to me, I think ikifikia wakati wa business, wanafanya mtu afanye business yake vile anataka. We should not restrict people from doing their business. Ikifika upande wa bar, I don't drink, but wacha watu wafanye wale ambao wanaweza kufanya. That is their business and that is their income. Kuna wengine ambao hawana kazi, wana depend kwa that business only. So wakati unafunga, affect the whole generation huyo mtu. Obviously hiyo tu ni he's trying to come back, anajaribu kuwa mzuri kwa watu, akitumia hiyo jina kwa watu wanakunywa pombe wakikufa, but which is not really true. Although kweli watu wamekufa, but not all bars watu wanakunywa kikufa. Kuna tu specific and very few ambao watu wamekunywa na wakakufa. So to me, amejua watu wamemtoka, watu wamemkasirikia, watu wataki story zake moso pale Central Kenya, kwa sababu hapo ndo mali yeye amebase. Haja base outside Central Kenya. Yeye ako pale Central Kenya peke yake ndo mali anaweza ongea. And wakati anafanya hivyo anaona watu wanamtoroka, obviously those are statements ambao ataongea. Back to you Mr. Jex.
Na anasema hivyo na ni juzi tu kama siku 3 tu rais anasema ya kwamba kuna uwezekano ya tubadilishe running mate awe ni mwanadada. Auoni kama pia hiyo inaweza kuwa aitumie kama kisingizio, unajua, kwa sababu nimepoteza umaarufu kwa sababu ya mimi kupigana na pombe, haina shida nikiachia mwanadada. Auoni kama hiyo inaweza kuwa kama ataitumia kama excuse, kwa sababu labda ameona dalili ya kwamba kuna uwezekano ataweza temwa 2027?
No, but he knows, Mr. Jex. This guy knows that hata kuanzia mwanzo, by the time alikuwa anachagua deputy president, he was not voted in because they used a voting card. Wakavote between yeye na Kindiki, and Kindiki took it, a high number, a high percentage, almost 90% voted for Kindiki, and also only 2 people voted for this guy. So he knows that hakuwa anahitajika kwa hiyo place. Ilikuwa tu ni ile ujasiri wake na ile pesa ambayo alitumia kutengeneza hiyo chama ndio ilifanya akaamua kupata hiyo kiti. So with the current situation when imekuwa happen, he knows that hata kuwa pale. Even look at the Kindiki, no Kindiki, huyu kijana mdogo huyu anatanga, huyu kijana mdogo ambaye anataka kuchukua hiyo post yake. There's a young man in Nyoro. Ukiona mtu kama Dini Nyoro anakuja. Ukiona mtu kama Dini Nyoro anakuja, obviously inaleta question mark kwa sababu amekuwa fronted by many people, not one or two. A group, a percentage of people from Central Kenya wana fraud Didi Nyoro. So Gachagua knows that mambo yake pale haiko. So he need to play his cards well kama anataka kupata hiyo kitu. Lakini hatapata kwa sababu pia with Ruto, to me I don't believe Ruto akiongea kuhusu atapatia wanawake. Although nimeona amepatia kidogo juzi, 2 days 3 days ago amepatiana, but hiyo ni ku please tu watu. You cannot trust Ruto in anything ambaye anakuambia. Huyo tu ni conman wa kawaida. Okay, back to you.
All right. Naona una mambo asubuhi ya leo. Bwana Alex, habari ya asubuhi?
Niko salama, nimerelax. Hapa tuna watoto wangu wamekuja kuniona leo. I'm a very happy father.
Fantastic. Sasa Gachagua amesema ako tayari kuachana na hiki kiti come 2027 kama yeye kazi yake jinsi anavyoifanya itamfanya achane na hii kazi, ako tayari kuachana nayo. Kulingana na wewe, na usisahau rais juzi amesema kuna uwezekano kama rais ni mwanamke awe ndio mgombea mwenza. Kulingana na wewe, unaona ni excuse atatumia kwamba kwa sababu Mlima Kenya watanikataa, kwa sababu nitakataliwa juu ya kupigana vita vya pombe? Unaona kama ni excuse ameanza kujiundia mapema sana, ili akitolewa kwa hiyo kitu watu watamuuliza swali sana? Ama what do you think? What is his excuse? Why bring that topic now?
Yex, wacha nikwambie kitu kimoja. Na nataka usikize, pay attention to me. Power is sweet. Hii ni porojo, utapeli. Wanatudanganya hapa. Hakuna mtu ataacha kuwa makamu wa rais. That's nonsensical waffling. That's how I can call. That's a inferior logic. Ati Gachagua, sasa Gachagua atakuwa nini? Tell me, 2027 aende nyumbani? Hii maneno ya poroja ya William Samoei Ruto waachana nayo. Anadanganya wanawake, anadanganya watoto, anadanganya binadamu. 2027 the running mate atakuwa Gachagua. You ni upuzi bwana. So
it's not possible that we have.
These people are lying to us. Tell me which position can Gachagua take? No, Jex, I want you to celebrate. When niambie tu kweli kabisa. Hawache kuuliza Deputy President. Obviously, William Samoei Ruto is going to vie for the president. Obviously, Baba is going to the AU
That's
seat.
right.
Obviously, just tell me, where is Gachagua going? Ujinga wanawake wanadanganya hapo Kenya.
Now, Mr. G, at one point ilikuwa obvious lazima running mate atoke Mlima Kenya. Ile haikuwa obvious, hatukujua atakuwa nani. Kulikuwa na majina kibao, kulikuwa na Alice Wahome, kulikuwa na Dende Nyoro, kulikuwa na huyu interior CS, alikuwa kwa hiyo list. But eventually Gachagua ndio aliwapick wote na akawa yeye ndio naibu ama ndiye atakuwa running mate. Why is it now that he feels scared? That he's, even how his tone was someone who almost giving up. Mbona anakaa kama mtu mwenye tayari ku give up, yet I never had William Ruto even once say he is willing to lose his seat. Mbona yeye ana mapema hivi, ama ni venye rais alisema we can change from a male to a female?
No, I think ameshtuka, but let's go back to what happened kwa Central Kenya. You know, Central Kenya is a big community. Ni community ambayo iko na high percent of people, watu wengi. In fact, kwa anasema is the largest, but I'm not sure if it is the largest ama Western is the largest. But between the two, one of the communities
is the largest. Let's be sure. I don't want us to proliferate on that one. The largest nini inakuanga Kakamega. Hii kitu wanadanganyanga ati Kiambu. Let's give it out. Thank you.
Okay, let's go with what Alex has said. Let's say, okay, let's say it is Western Kenya, which is the biggest community. Okay, your network sijui kama iko sawa, Mr. Jex, your network I'm not sure kama iko sawa, but okay, let's continue. So in Central Kenya, kuna that narrative kuwa it is the big community. That is a narrative ambayo imekuwa pale for a very long time. That's why unapata hata some election ambazo zimekuwa back. Kuna wakati ambao Tarakaniti ilitupatia more than sijui how many millions of people. Ile wakati ambao tulibiwa kura, it was
2007.
Yeah, only Tarakaniti gave us millions of people. Kumbe ni community ambayo ni area ambayo iko less than sijui 200,000 300,000 people only. So kumekuwa na that narrative kuwa community ya Central Kenya is the biggest community. So because of that, you have to get somebody from Central Kenya to be either to be a president or to be a deputy president so that you can get that votes from that region. You see. So last election ambayo ilifanyika, they took it is Ruto who took Gachagua, kwa sababu Gachagua appear to be a person ambaye alikuwa vocal sana. Is a person ambaye was able to mobilize people. Unajua kada kwa naongea alionekana kama mtu ambaye kana mobilize people na anaweza leta watu pamoja. Another thing, watu walikuwa wametoka kwa Uhuru. You see, walikuwa wameleft Uhuru alikuwa yuko peke yake, alone ranger. So he wanted to get somebody from Central Kenya who can take the whole remaining votes to his side. Na kufanya hivyo ilikuwa mpaka achukue mtu ambaye atapatia, mtu ambaye atakuja kuwa kama deputy president. Those way that's then he can get votes from Central Kenya. But sasa kwa sasa what is happening ni kuwa Gachagua ameona things zinaendelea. Kitu ya kwanza amekuwa disappointed because he's the same person who told us that ameweka mitego nini, ameweka mitego State House. Raila sionekane pale. Raila sionekane pale. From nowhere ameanza kuona Raila na Ruto ni kama they are close friends. You see? And another thing
so haikuwa kama huu mtego haukuwa kama kuliendaje, because sasa Raila Odinga wanaonekana Uganda wakiwa na William Ruto, so haikuwa kama mtego ilifanyika vipi?
Hakukuwa na mtego. Another thing Mr. Jex, wakati alisema ameweka mitego, kumbuka na nini alisema hapo na sword, the young guy from parliament, the majority leader in our parliament, Ichungwa, yeah. Yeye alituambia yeye sasa yenda hako na kisu ambaye hata nusu mkate yeye hata hakuna vile itakatwa, nusu mkate iwezi kupatikana. There's no handshake, hakuna nusu mkate. So what I'm trying to say ni kuwa hiyo ilikuwa tu ni kuongea. Unajua wakati umechukua power, wakati power vile Alex amekwambia power is very sweet. Wakati unaingia pale umepewa ofisi, umepewa mabodyguard, umepewa mapolisi na magari mingi, unajiona kama wewe umefika. Yeah, wewe ndio umefika. Sasa unaweza ongea anything kwa sababu ya that emotion. So unajua kuna ile kuchipuka ile, I think unaelewa kitu nasema. Wakati umepata power kuna vile una feel, so you can speak anything without even thinking. Those words ilikuwa zinatoka kwa Gachagua bila kufikiria. But sasa amekuja in reality kuwa kumbe alikuwa anaongea kitu ambao alikuwa ajua anasema nini, amekuwa disappointed. Alafu pia another thing, akiona when president ana happen anafanya vitu zake, anaona ni kama ukweli huyu jamaa hatachukua hiyo hata power that chance next time.
So, ukiangalia kwa mtazamo wako, anaweza kuwa ameingisha baridi, kwa sababu hata wakati NADCO report ilikuwa inatolewa, one of the things alisema hakuwa naamini itafika umbali huu. Yeye maybe aliona ita collapse. If you remember correctly, alikuwa miongoni mwa wale anasema hii NADCO report haitaenda mahali. In any case, alikuwa amejua tu William Ruto ni kuchezea na chezea hawa jamaa. Kumbe hii story ilikuwa iwe serious. So hakuichukua ikiwa serious. So hata alipopewa nafasi ya kuongea alisema yeye hakuwa naamini itafika huku kwote. In fact, hata hakubonga sana. So hizi stories zote zenye analeta saizi ni uoga ameshaingisha, ni baridi, ni yeye kutetemeka kwa sababu ya kwamba William Ruto amemwonyesha fika kwamba I can replace you.
Ni uoga, you know, before Alex comes in, you know, Jex, wakati unakuja kwa pale, wakati unakuja kwa government, ukiwa nje ya government, okay, not really nje, kwa sababu siwezi sema Ruto alikuwa nje ya government. Ruto was in the government, the former government, he was the deputy president of that government. Alikuwa na keti kwa committee, alikuwa na keti kwa NCs ambao zilikuwa zinaitwa na President Uhuru, alikuwa na keti pale. So he knew. But mtu kama Gachagua alikuwa nje ya power kiasi. So tunaweza sema kuna vitu zingine ambazo alikuwa haelewi. So when alikuwa anaongea hivyo, he knew that government inakuwa run tu na he's a businessman. Gachagua is a businessman. So alikuwa anafikiria maybe government is something that just ran inakuwa run kama vile unakuwa run your business, which is very wrong. When he came into power, aligundua kuwa there is a certain power behind ambayo inaweza push ukashindwa kufanya ukashindwa kupata ile kitu uko expect kupata. So at the moment I think amekuwa disappointed kwa sababu unapata there's some activities ambazo zimekuwa zikifanyika State House, but amekuwa kimiss ambaye alikuwa hamiss, but now there's no anaanza kumiss. So is a person ambaye amekuwa disappointed, amekuwa discouraged, na amejua kuwa anytime pia anaweza temwa, which is true. Let me come back to
Alex. Ukiangalia jinsi anavyozungumza sasa, ni mtu ambaye anakaa kama ameogopa ya kwamba I can be replaced, so he's retreating back. He's trying to play a card that is smart, because one thing that I learned about him, he knows how to play a very interesting card. Alijifanya mse mwenye si smart sana during campaigns, so that people took advantage of him. They were saying, oh jamaa anakaa zuzu kitu fulani, lakini kumbe alikuwa na play safe. Hata ukimsikiza jinsi alivyosema, alijifanya hajielewi, hajijui, hata kizungu alijifanya hajui kuongea sana. Lakini ilipofika time yake ya kushine, for example during the debate, jamaa aling'ara, anasema leta ile kizungu ya mapua. Sasa ukimwangalia jinsi anavyozungumza sasa, je, is it a tactic anajaribu sasa kuleta so that in the event William Ruto replaces him, he will say I'm being replaced, just like Motudo was replaced because of fighting alcohol, just like Raila Odinga was denied the votes from Rift Valley kwa sababu ya fighting Mau Forest. I'm equally being replaced kwa sababu of doing this. Is it a narrative he's trying to concoct as early as now? Alex, is it me ama Alex amekwama?
I think network. Naona ni kama amekwama. I think in network.
All right. But kwa swali yangu Bwana G, ni narrative ameanza kuiunda mapema.
Yeah, that is just a narrative. I told you, Mr. Jex. You know, always nothing just happened in power. Nothing just happens in politics. Yeah. Always kitu yote ambayo happen for a certain goal ambayo imekuwa set so that they can meet. At the moment Gachagua amejipata ni kama okay, he's not that darling to how he expected to be to those people ambao alikuwa respect. Yeah. So this narrative ambayo imeletwa na Ruto kwa sababu ya agenda sijui what and what, which is very true. I believe mostly mimi na believe sana in gender, because I think women are the good leaders ambao tunahitaji in our nation right now. Those are people ambao kuwapatia leadership, they can play it well and they can deliver. Not like women, even though some of our men wako sawa, they are competent in their jobs, but not all. You cannot compare them with the men. Kwa sababu at any position umepatiana a woman and a position umepatiana a man, utapata that a woman delivers more than the man. Kwa sababu we have some things ambazo zina happen on this issue between women and men. Women give it all 100%, but for men who anataka kujitakia wao wenyewe. That's why unapata kama corruption inakuwa handled mostly with men more than with women. So in politics utapata many people who hawaangalii that leadership in somebody, they go with what appears. So just sasa kama mimi nikija nikajionyesha kwa niko bold, nikajionyesha kwa niko overconfidence, those are the signs ambao watu wanatumia to gauge leadership and everything in competency, which is not true. We really need people who can deliver, people who are competent to their jobs to deliver. Now at the moment, huyu jamaa ambaye ni deputy president, there's something that is happening in Mount Kenya. Mount Kenya, they are waking up now. They are waking up to reality because they believed in lies. Yeah, when this government was formed, before even they took over, kulikuwa na a lot of propaganda in central Kenya. Kulikuwa na a lot of propaganda and infighting with the government, and yet the government was for Ruto and president. At the moment, central Kenya walikuwa wamedanganywa sana, wakafika they would be the most beneficiary. Wamejipata kuwa they are not the most beneficiary. Wamepatikana kuwa hao ndo wanaumwa sana, hao ndo wanafuatwa sana, hao ndo wanapigwa sana. Even their businesses ndio zinakuwa attacked sana. So Mr. Gachagua amekuwa ameshtuka. That is something that I'm seeing. Yeah, Mr. Gachagua ameshtuka kwa sababu mountain inakuwa drifted away from him and from the government. Say they don't believe their government, they don't believe their people because of the lies ambayo ilitumika. So for Gachagua to take over, to take over that position, anafaa play the victim card because that is what they know best. Sasa ana try to play the victim card so that he can get the sympathy vote. Ile ambayo ina happen Kenya. Kenya most of the time ukiplay kama a victim utapata that sympathy. That the sympathy is what he's trying now to get. But the truth ni kuwa wametoka. Yeah.
Mr. G, kuna roles alizopewa yeye kama Gachagua na William Ruto. One of them ama some of them zinaguza sana watu wa Mlima Kenya. Kwa mfano majani chai, kahawa, maziwa. Hizo sectors ni sectors alipewa ashughulikie bei, ashughulikie kwamba mkulima anapata mapato mazuri na kadhalika. Alright? Je, ukiangalia jinsi mkulima sasa analalamika, bado inaleta picha nzuri kwake kama Gachagua, na itakuwa ni rahisi sana kwa William Ruto kujitoa aseme mimi nilipea kijana wenyu hii kazi. Yeye ndio alishindwa kuperform, alright? Yeye ndio alishindwa kuongeza bei ya kahawa, alishindwa kuongeza bei ya majani chai. Je, unaona kama William Ruto aliset hii mtego kwake virahisi sana benye akirudi mlimani ama akirejelea wakulima wa kahawa, wakulima wa majani chai, atawaambia kwamba mimi kama rais nilipea mtu ambaye nilidhani maybe kwa sababu anatoka mlimani, kwa sababu anajua wakulima, kwa sababu unanielewa, nilidhani atafanya kazi lakini kana kwamba hajawezana. Je, did William Ruto set Gachagua to fail so that it will be easy to replace him?
Maybe it was not to set him, but what I can say ni kuwa, you know, always in leadership, for you to deliver, you have to be competent on the job ambao umepewa. So Gachagua alipewa kitu ambao he is not competent on it. So obviously he will fail. Any position ambao umepewa, ama any work ambao umepewa, if you are not competent on it, you always fail. So Gachagua alipewa that post. Maybe he was not good on it. Ajui even inafaa iran, ajui even inafaa kufanyiwa ndio uweze kudeliver, that incompetence lacked in him. Akafail. Another thing in politics, you know, kwa kuna hiyo nini, kuna hiyo inaitwanga aje, hiyo ambayo umetumia that word ya kutumika ili uwe blamed baadaye. Always utakuwa set up. Utakuwa set up because always somebody who is in the power who hataki kuchukua the blame, he will sacrifice somebody to take the blame so that yeye aonekane kuwa ni mtu mzuri, and yet tenda ametumika ku set up that guy. And that is things that always happen in power. He will take somebody, use him, huyu mtu achukiwe na watu, huyu mtu achukiwe na area fulani, just for him as a president to get mileage.
Okay.
So these are the sacrifices ambazo zina happen. Sometimes they always come, not all the time, but always these things happen in politics. Watu wanakuwa sacrifice, unaenda unachukiwa na government, unaenda unachukiwa na watu, alafu baadaye sasa president achukiwi, ni wewe unachukiwa on behalf of the government or the president, and yet president amekutuma kule kwenda kuku set up.
All right. Now Alex, naona umerejea. Nilikuwa nauliza hivi, je, Rais William Ruto anaweza kuwa aliset one Gachagua to fail. For example, alimpa dockets ambazo ni very sensitive na zinakuwa recognized na watu wa Mount Kenya. For example, kahawa, majani, chai, maziwa. Hizo dockets alimwachia ili aweze kuhakikisha gharama ama bei ya maziwa inapanda, bei ya kahawa inapanda. Lakini umekuta kwa kipindi kifupi tu wakulima bado wanalalamika, aidha gharama imeshuka kuliko vile ilikuwa wakati wa Uhuru Kenyatta or vitu kama hizo. So wakati William Ruto atarudi kwa mlima akiambia watu alipea hii kazi Gachagua ndio alifail, atakuwa kweli amekosea akiwaambia, unajua mimi nilijaribu kuweza wangu, ule mwenye aliwafail ni kijana wenyu. Do you see that one as a ploy that he can use to argue his case on 2027?
Unajua Jex, let me admit something that I don't want to admit.
Please do.
Unajua ikifika kwa siasa, I want to be pragmatic. Gachagua is too smart for William Samoei Ruto. And I want to give a disclaimer kwa sababu William Samoei Ruto anafikiria anaweza cheza. My mom is calling me, please.
All right. As you're coming back, let's listen into how it all began.
By Tanzanian
insisted on supporting Odinga's candidate
away from the new bromance between his boss and opposition chief Raila Odinga. Take a look.
Since the declaration of ODM leader Raila Odinga that he will be seeking the topmost African Union seat, this has left tags wagging in the political divide. Though they have insisted on supporting Odinga's candidature, a section of Kenya Kwanza leaders have been left at a crossroads on the next course of action, especially after they had vowed not to allow any talks between their boss, President William Ruto, and opposition chief Raila Odinga.
Wewe mzee sikia. We have no business within our government. Hatuna haja na hatugojei wewe. We are not looking for you and we have no time. The last time uliingia serikali ya Uhuru Kenyatta aliharibu wako haribu. Mungetaka akaribie serikali yetu? Mungetaka akaribie? Stop saying that people can force you to come to this government. Forget about being forced or coerced. We are not interested because sisi tuko na kazi ya kufanya.
Na sababu nimesikia dada yangu wa Mushomba akisema ati kama iko mkata inakatwa, hiyo mkata iko na William Ruto na Rigathi Gachagua. Kisu ni mimi nimeshika na siachili. Hiyo kisu mimi siwezi achilia. Muniite hardliner, muniite nini.
The tussle over the 2022 elections had left the two warring sides going for each other's jugular, with Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua not shying away from reprimanding Raila.
Kazi ya kufanya, tumepata rais ambaye ako na maono ya kufanya kazi. Na hatutaki usaidizi kwa huyo mzee. Si tumeweka wale sawa kumsaidia? Na Profesa Dongo si yako hapo? Si mimi niko? Si Ndede Nyoro wako hapo? Usaidizi gani mwingine angetaka kutoka pande hiyo? Hawa wakae huko wafanye kazi ya oversight. Hiyo watu wakijaribu kukaribia State House nimeweka mitego kila njia wanaweza pitia, hakuna pahali wanaweza pitia.
The DP will go ahead to poke fun on Odinga's arrival at the climate change conference in Nairobi last year.
Sisi ndio tumewaharibu. Juzi tumekuwa na kongamano pale. Mimi niko pale, rais ameniambia nikaribishe marais wote wa Kenya na niwapeleke kwake. Mimi niko pale. Nimekaribisha marais, napelekea rais. Nakaribisha, napeleka. Nakaribisha, nakipeleka. Sasa ile mzee sijui alipitia wapi. Sasa nikiwa nimekaa pale nauliza hii ni rais ya wapi, kufunguliwa ni ile mzee ya maandamano. Bas, mimi unajua ni muungwana, nikamkaribisha namwambia okay, karibu kwa mkutano. Sasa yeye ati anaenda kwenda pahali marais wanakaa, ati akae. Yeye ni rais ya gani? Hakuna mtu amemchagua. So we are also encouraging bad habits.
President Ruto and Raila newfound relationship appearing to put Ruto's number 2 in an awkward position. Just how will Rigathi fit in the new political arithmetics? Chris Tairu, KTN News, Nairobi.
So kuna vitu zinanibamba hapa. One of the things inanibamba ni hii. Anasema alikuwa ameweka mitego, lakini Raila Odinga has succeeded severally na hizo mitego. For example, his daughter alisucceed kuingia Iyala mitego zikiwa. Yeye ndio huyu probably atasucceed na chances ziko juu atasucceed kuingia AUC as the chairperson, that is mitego tu zikiwa. We have seen some interesting bromance mpaka wanaenda wana meet Uganda maybe because ya kuevade mitego. So je, hizi vitu zingine zina happen akijua ama zinamkuta a surprise? And because of such, he's now looking for a way, you know, a smart way, a tactical way ya kujiondoa katika in the event to jaribu kumblame ya kwamba ama kumenjoy ya kwamba Raila amesucceed despite his mitego. He can equally say you know, hii kiti nimeamua niachie mtu, you know. Will he get an excuse, or has he been outsmarted by both Raila Odinga and William Ruto in this game?
Okay, you know Mr. Jakes, on the issue of politics, tunajua kuwa the leadership, that is the president and the deputy president, wote kwa na receive intelligence report. And kwa na advised wote, yeah, wote kwa na advised. So on this issue kusema maybe alikuwa hajui, I cannot certain kuwa ni ukweli alikuwa hajui, but even though ukweli pia inaweza kuwa maybe alikuwa hajui, this is a guy ambaye he has something against Baba, something against Raila. You remember wakati wa campaign before they took over the government, this is the first person ambaye alienda Central Kenya akawa anawaambia kuwa when Baba came with a handshake to Uhuru Kenyatta, alimconfuse Uhuru Kenyatta na pesa zote ambazo zilikuwa zimetegwa za project ya Central Kenya zilibebwa zikapelekwa Nyanza. I don't know if you remember that statement from the same guy ambaye is Gachagua. So always Gachagua amekuwa akionekana as a guy ambaye ako na chuki fulani na Baba. Hawako in good terms with Baba. Hata unaona wakati ilikuwa na that meeting ambayo kulikuwa ya presidents ambao meet Kenya. Kuna hiyo pia alikuja akaleta another narrative akasema alikuwa hajui yule president gani wakati Baba alikuja kwa that meeting. He's the same guy ambaye alitokezea akaanza kutuambia kuwa mimi niliona mzee amekuja anashindwa yule mzee wa country gani. And yet Baba is somebody who is known in the whole continent ambaye angeweza kumiss that meeting. Na in fact that meeting pia alialikwa. Haiwezi kuwa tu alijipeleka mwenyewe, alialikwa pale. But what came out, Gachagua alijitokeza akaanza kumuongelesha kama mtu ambaye hafai. So there's something against Baba about the guy has. Ni kama chuki, ni kama tu kuna tu another tu kitu ambao haieleweki, but ukweli tunajua ni kuwa in Central Kenya kuna a narrative which is a propaganda ambayo ililetwa kwa Baba. Watu wanaona Baba ni kama, that's why wanamuita mchawi, sijui wanamuita those names, you know the names ambazo kwa anaitwa in Central Kenya because of just narrative ya propaganda. When you take that man, any one of them, umuulize ni nini Baba alikosea watu, no one will stand up akwambie kwa Baba alikosa kitu fulani, Baba alifanya kitu fulani ndio anamfanya hivyo. No, kuna tu that propaganda ambayo imeletwa Central Kenya wakachukia watu from the lake side. Sasa on this issue I cannot certain kuwa alikuwa hajui, but also naweza sema maybe alikuwa hajui kwa sababu mtu ambaye kwa apendi Baba, so maybe anaweza kuwa alifanya asiwe in that picture akuja ashtukie tu baadaye. You know, that's why I told you Mr. Jakes kuwa kwa kuna betrayal in politics, kwa kuna that betrayal card ambao inatumika sana, and that's why there's one show ambao tulikuwa nayo hapa ambao niliongelea story ya somebody called Kese Bogia. Sijui kama unakumbuka that story of this guy ambaye alitumwa na prince, alitumwa na the king, the prince of that village, alimtuma akaenda kwa certain place, akaenda kwa certain area. Wakati alienda kwa that area, aliumiza watu sana, wakashika watu, wakacastrate watu, wakaumiza watu. Lakini sasa baadaye kumbe ilikuwa ni president amemtuma, not president, it was the prince alikuwa ametuma this Bokia so that watu wachukie Bokia lakini wasimchukie yeye president. But huyo prince alikuwa anataka ku take mileage by sacrificing this guy ambaye anaitwa Bokia. So when Bokia went there, castrated people, killed people, watu walimchukia sana. But what happened? The prince came back, akachukua Bokia akamua na akamweka kwa street, akachukua kisu akamweka pale kwa street. Kila mtu akaona kuwa the prince ameua nani? Ameua Bokia. Na Bokia ni mtu ambaye amekuwa na frustrate hao watu. Sasa watu ile hate ilikuwa kwa Bugia, haikuwa kwa president, and yet the guy alikuwa ana fulfill what the president the priest wanted, the prince wanted, you see. Sasa prince akakuja baadaye anaanza kuwapatia chakula, anawapatia hiyo incentives, anawapatia vitu ambavyo alikuwa anahitaji ili aonekane kuwa mzuri, but tayari alikuwa shapata what he wanted, you see. So this is just betrayal ambayo ina happen in politics. Na pia Gachagua anaweza kuwa one of the victim ambaye anaweza kutumika, kwa sababu anaweza kuwa anatumika na president bila kujua, baadaye aonekane kuwa ni mtu mbaya, kumbe ilikuwa tu ni malengo ya the president.
Now the reason as why hata nafurahia na jinsi unavyosema, kuna kitu alisema wakati walipokea NADCO report, na ndio nataka kuicheza tu saa hizi. Ni kana kwamba yeye hizi vitu zina happen, zingine zinamkuta kama surprise, as much as you have said it so well, ya kwamba kuna kwa an intelligence report. He has been seeing all these happenings, he has been seeing the process going on so well, but there's a statement alisema. I want us to listen to that, then we come back and try to digest what really was he up to when he said these following words. Ladies and gentlemen, let's listen to this one, then we come back and we continue.
Put our country on a peaceful trajectory. Let me take this opportunity to really thank the two teams for your pragmatism, for your patience, and for the hours that you have spent to come up with a document that will bring peace and tranquility to our country. Your Excellency, I must admit that I was a bit skeptical from the beginning whether these discussions will see the light of the day. I must admit I had estimated the resilience of the Kenyan people.
All right. Listen to what he has said. He was admitting in front of the president, hakuamini hii story itafika mahali imefika. In any case, I'm sure William Ruto pushed this thing to go on. I'm sure the Akina Ishongwa were not acting on their own volition. They had the backing of the state, because even they were being given what do you call them? Allowances and all. So they had all the blessings from all over. All right, the principals had given them their blessings. So when Gachagua comes out and says, I was not sure hii kitu kama itaendelea, I was even not sure kama itaona the light of day, yet he's there to see it, seeing the light of the day. What do you make of his remarks?
Okay, sorry Jax. You know, Jax, always nilikuwa nakwambia kwa kuna that nini, kwa kuna hiyo inaitwa betrayal ambayo ina happen mostly kwa politics, and some things inaweza kuwa said just to trick you. Some things na happen too without your knowledge, alafu wakati unaenda kujua ukweli ilikuwa wapi, unajipata kumbe you are not in the equation. These people, they were meeting kando na wewe, these people are planning these things wewe ukiwa haujui, so you are just a sacrificial lamb ambao ulikuwa umepelekwa pale so that uonekane kuwa mbaya, and yet kumbe ulikuwa haujui what is happening. On this issue he was admitting that he underrated, although this issue of underrating, almost all of us what fall victims of it. Even the students who are fall victim of it. You underrate something without knowing exactly the power that is behind that thing. Hata kama kwa education, hata pia kwa education na exams, you find the children ambao wana fail is not that they are failing kwa sababu ni wajinga, but just because wamekosa to that intelligent problem ambayo imekuwa designed to trick their mind, wamekosa ku identify with logic. They don't check with the logics here. Unapata ameulizwa swali rahisi but anajibu oppositely. Jax, I want to ask you a question just to demonstrate something here, although we'll come back to what you asked, but kwa sababu bado sijajibu swali yako, but I wanted just to talk about this issue ya overconfidence ambayo inatufanya tunaanguka, underestimating things, inafanya mpaka tunaanguka hata kwa exams. Lakini exams, you know na Mr. Jax, lakini exams mtu anaweza tu kuuliza swali, just a simple swali, like tuseme uko na kitu kama apple na nini na machungwa, alafu unapata mtu anakuambia kuwa ukichukua apple na machungwa it cost you 1.1 dollars. Andika tu chini, because it's a question ambayo lazima uelewe vizuri. Andika tu chini that thing, the cost of apple.
At the cost of what?
The cost of apple and orange. Yeah, the cost of apple and orange. Apples
and orange. Apples and oranges.
Yeah, is $1.1.
Both amount each.
Yeah, both of them. Apple and orange cost $1.1. It's just something tu kidogo tu ambao nilikuwa nataka kuleta hapa kwa hesabu ndo watu waone. Alafu unaambiwa the apple now, okay? Cost $1 more than the orange. Umeelewa hapo? The apple yeah,
ina cost $1 more than the orange.
More than the orange. Alafu sasa nauliza swali, how much does the orange cost?
0.1.
Umeelewa swali, si ndio?
Umenieleza kwamba apple na orange ni $1.1, right?
Exactly.
Apple ni $1.
Yeah, apple ni $1 more than orange. That the cost of apple is $1 more than orange.
More than the orange.
Yeah.
So it means that this orange inakuwa the remainder of what remains from 1.1, which is 0.1.
0.1. That is your answer, okay?
What is the correct answer?
Exactly.
That's my thinking.
Exactly. Yeah, that is your thinking. That is how nilikuwa nataka kuonyesha kitu. That is how we always underrate anything. Kwa sababu hapa kumbuka tumeambiwa apple and orange cost $1.1. That is apple and orange. But now the cost of apple is $1 more than the cost of orange. $1 more than orange. So unaulizwa how much is the cost of orange? Ukikuja kwa ukweli, ukiangalia deeper that question inakwambia kuwa the cost of apple is $1 more than the orange. That means your question tayari shakwambia orange and apple ziko the same. Lakini sasa kuna $1 ambao inafaa iwe extra between the two. $1 inafaa iwe extra. Sasa ile cost ambao orange iko nayo ndio the cost ambao apple iko nayo, but apple sasa utaongeza $1 extra than what orange has.
The cost of the orange is 1.1.
No, the cost of orange is 1.5, 0.5.
0.5.
0. What's happened here? You divide the 0.1 by 2. You divide the 0.1 by 2. That is the cost.
All right. 0.1 by 2. You get all right.
You get 0 point. Alafu you add $1
Mwalimu wetu wa math ndo alikuwa wa CRE, so saa hesabu alikuwa anafunza CRE, so ungeiweka hiyo ya dini ningejibu, but let's go on.
Okay, let us come from that. Okay, what I was trying to say ni kuwa, kuna tu some simple questions ambazo swali zinakuja in a very tricky way, ambao usipoangalia vizuri utapata you answer something, kumbe you never answer the right way. Ulielewa kidogo tu, yani tricky kidogo uka answer in a very wrong direction. What I'm trying to say ni kuwa on this issue, nani alikuwa overconfidence? Alikuwa overconfident huyu Gachagua. He was very confident kuwa they will never work with the Ruto and they will never work with the Raila. There's no point wataweza commit and work together. But now amepatikana in a very surprising way kuwa they are working now. The president is a friend to Raila and now they want to work together. Kitu ya kwanza, they're working together because of this AU seat.
But Mr. G, when you look at the flip side of it, Baba going away, is it not a blessing in disguise for them? I think it's a good thing. You should be happy.
No, to them is a good thing kwa sababu they'll never have nini, hatakuwa na ile kusukuma vile Baba alikuwa anasukuma. Baba has been exposing these people. Wakati kuna any scandal, it is Baba who has come out and exposed the scandals ambazo zimekuwa happen. Kukiwa na anything ambao inahitaji somebody to push, it is Baba who amekuwa stand up akiwa ana push those things. So when Baba anatoka out of this equation, inakuwa ni watu watabaki bila any opposition. They will do whatever thing about they want. And that's why they're pushing for this thing, because wanadoa Baba akiwa, you know, Baba has a great number, a great supporter behind him. Baba akiwa, bado inakuwa ni kama stumbling block in their side. So they will never succeed in whatever thing they want. Alafu tena kwa sahi, because wame fail on their promises. They promised, you know, they were in a very good position to deliver. Because wakati tulikuwa kwa uhuru, things were not doing well. Things were not right. So this government was on a better place. Could deliver exactly what people wanted, alafu wapate mileage. But wameshindwa kupata what they wanted, wamekosa kwa sababu ya incompetence of the people ambao wameweka pale. Now, Baba is going out of this nini politics. Wanabaki wao with some of Azimio. But ukiangalia in our Azimio team, wanapata the people ambao wanabaki, they are not that strong like Baba. So because they are not very strong like
now,
Baba,
what you're saying brings us. What you're saying, Mr. G, now brings us to the next part, because we are now headed to the next hour of this show, the next and final hour. And we are looking at the newspapers, the daily newspapers. And the newspapers today, ladies and gentlemen, this is what you have in front of the newspapers today. I don't know, I think I need to do it in a different way. I thought this would be bigger, but I'll try to make it bigger for you. But for those of us who are able to see, I'll read it for you. Inaongelelea hapo tu chini, can I call it part B of your daily newspaper? Make sure you grab your copy of the Daily News Nation. Daily newspapers, look at the Nation newspaper for this morning show. And I'll just reflect it. I think it can be seen to us who are using their phones, okay? Are you able to see? I'll read for you. Wanasema it's the battle for ODM's soul, that is Joho versus Oparanya. Hapo tuko na kambi mbili. Tuko na kambi ya Joho na tuko na kambi ya Oparanya. All right? Joho seems to be going with the likes of Junet Mohammed, John Badi, Babu Owino, Ledama Olekina, Fatuma Masrito, and of course Stewart Mazayo from Coast, and then one Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya seems to be going with a different thread. He's going with the Secretary General of ODM, that is Edwin Sifuna, the brother to one Raila Odinga, that is Oburu Odinga, the leader of minority, that is Opiyo Wandayi, the former MP Timothy Bosire, of course the governor for Kisii Mbarati, and one Elsa Mohanda. Now, when you look at Izo faction, let's even begin with these two. We saw Raila Odinga nominating, or rather endorsing, one Ambetsa Oparanya, and of course one Hassan Joho. The two, are they able to fit Baba's shoe? Let's begin from there, even before we say anything much.
No, I can assure you, Mr. Jakes, that the two still cannot fit Baba's shoes. Kwa sababu these are the people, mtu mmoja kwanza pale, looking at Joho. Joho is one guy ambaye he's pushing very hard, anasema kama si Baba yeye atakuwa kwa ballot. You see, kama si Baba ni yeye lazima akuwe kwa ballot. Looking at the current situation, wakati imekuwa kama Azimio, Joho amekuwa missing in action. Hata kwa mkutano ya ODM wenyewe alikuwa haonekani. Tumekuwa na very many meetings ya ODM wakirecruit watu. Joho was not there, alikuwa missing. Basi hii amejitokeza, anakuja tena anasema anatosha kuwa president. So when we take Joho and then we take Oparanya, even though Joho upande wa pesa, Joho is much more liquid than Oparanya, kutakuwa na mvutano. Pale kutakuwa na kupigana. So to me the two people still cannot lead this nini ODM. Wakati Baba anatoka ODM, ODM itasambaratika.
What does ODM need to survive? Because Baba has always been the glue, all right? Baba has always been the glue. There are people who have made it to parliament and to serious positions in this country because of their Raila Odinga. Now, with the removal of Raila Odinga, what happens to this team? And again, from the two who are fronted by Raila Odinga, that is Oparanya and Joho, who among them has the ability to of course cool down the heat that will occur once Baba leaves, to bring everyone together, control the party, he's able to galvanize all the regions Baba was able to control in terms of the voting basket. So between Oparanya and Joho, who among them, let's take for example, no one else has the ability, because these are affronted by Raila Odinga, who among them is able to at least pull people together and maintain ODM, because ODM is the big picture before we come to Azimio and as well go to the Luo Nyanza politics. What do you make of Joho and one Ambetsa Oparanya?
Okay, between Joho and Ambetsa Oparanya, to me, I'll go with Ambetsa Oparanya. Kwa sababu, this is a guy that hana ile mambo ya kupiga kifua sana the way Joho kwa anafanya. Joho is one guy ambaye anapenda kujipiga kifua, but most of time anapiga kifua but it's just hot air, yeah. Anapiga kifua but what he delivers is just hot air, yeah. But when you look at Ambetsa is a cool guy ambaye he can sit down with people, yeah. He can sit down with people, anaweza waongelesha, and he can bring some people together. But somebody like Joho also is a good mobilizer too. He's a good mobilizer, but I think outside the inner circle, kama hii ambao tunaongelea sasa kama govern the ODM, I think it is too much for Joho to handle compared Joho and Oparanya. At least Oparanya can try, even though all of them cannot fit in the Baba shoes, but Ambetsa is at a better position to lead this ODM than Joho can do. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Baba has like 4 things that needs to be fitted. One, he has what we call the ODM issue. We need someone to replace that. Someone to replace Azimio if that will continue. Someone who can inherit the Luo Nyanza, and of course, someone who now can unite the 3 to create one national outlook. From the 2, who is able to calm all those storms in ODM, calm the storm in Luo Nyanza, and equally unite the country like Raila did, because Raila is not only supported in one part of the country like Luo Nyanza. I think he has a national outlook or a national he commands a national appeal. Oparanya, is he able to galvanize support in the entire country? Is he able to?
He's not able. You know what I was saying, Mr. Jex, I'm just trying to compare the 2 people. I was just trying to compare the 2 people, who is Ambetsa Oparanya and Joho. But all of them, tukifika kwa mambo ya govern the whole country, kuwaweka pamoja as ODM, bado hawajatosha. They don't have that capability ya kufanya that thing about tunaona Baba akifanya. But now tukienda kwa the really life venye kwa tunaishi, you know, Mr. Jex, in the really life ambao tunaishi, people don't see leadership in deep. People who wanaangalia how somebody is. Like kama sahi tukienda in our normal day, in our own normal reasoning, vile sisi wenyewe tunajisikiza venye kwa tunaangalia vitu, our perception, tunaweza sema kuwa Joho anapendwa na watu sana kuliko Oparanya. Why? Kwa sababu Joho akienda Nairobi utapata he has supporters in Nairobi ambao wanamchia hapo. Akienda Western ako na some darling people wanampenda akienda huko. Why? Kwa sababu how he is overconfidence with the way he articulate his things akiongea. But tukienda kwa leadership, Joho leadership hana leadership Joho. But kuna ile picture outside ile ambao kwa iko tu normal kwa kila mtu. People always wanaangalia overconfidence, alafu wanakuwa misguided comparing between overconfidence and the competency ama leadership. So unapata mtu atenda na ule mtu ambaye anaonekana kuwa ako so confidence with the way he articulates his issue.
Now, if Raila Odinga has left ODM to one Joho and Oparanya, and these are guys who have equally stated that they can equally run for presidency, all right? Now, what happens to the Luo leadership? Because none of these 2 comes from the Luo side.
Yeah, none of them come from the Luo side. Now that's where the challenge is. You know, always in power, you are not given power huwa haupewi, power huwa you take over. kama hii mambo ya kingship, you have to look at the opportunity and then you take over, you take it
yes,
when you grab it. So like sahi in Nyanza, many people wanna believe in kuwa watapewa somebody to lead. Baba atasimama alafu aseme we are supporting somebody to lead us in Nyanza, ambao si haitakuwa rahisi. Kwa so ukiangalia sahi kuna Badi ambaye Badi ni kama amekuwa supported by Mama Ida. You see, Mama Ida. Unapata kuna mtu kama
John Badi ako side ya Oparanya. Yeye anapigia upatu Oparanya. I don't know why the Daily Nation yeye anapigia upatu Joho. I don't know why the Daily Nation iliwagawa hivyo. Kuna team Joho, team Oparanya.
Ndio nilikuwa nakwambia, unajua shida na sisi wa Kenya, most of the time kwa tuangalie the leadership in somebody, kwa tuangalie what somebody can do. Sisi kitu ambao tunaangalia mostly kwa tunaenda with people who are confidence, mtu ambaye anaweza simama akatukana president, mtu ambaye anaweza simama akadea president, the way Joho kwa anafanya. Unaona vile Joho kwa anafanya, akisimama anasema hatishwi na mtu yote, anatusi watu, anafanya nini. So we look at that thing, tunajiambia kuwa that is the quality of a leader, which is not the quality of the leader, and that's why we always go wrong. Kwa sababu ukiangalia in women, most of these women hawana hiyo tabia, hiyo mambo ya kutusitusi watu, ya kujipiga kifua, but we men tuko na hiyo mambo ya kujipiga kifua. So the moment mtu anaanza kujipiga kifua, kwa watu wanaanza kumuona kama that is the best leader ambaye anaweza kuwa, that is somebody ambaye anaweza lead watu, which is very wrong. Kwa sahi Joho, kuna group ya watu ambao wanapenda Joho because of how he does his things. Ile kujipiga kifua hiyo, kuongea venye kwa anapenda kuongea hivyo. To some people it is darling, wanapenda vitu kama hiyo. But ukienda kwa Oparanya, Oparanya kana mambo mengi kama hiyo. Oparanya is somebody who is cool. But ukiangalia the way he led, the way he governed Kakamega. Unapata Kakamega ilikuwa juu sana. Hata ukiangalia DOTS ratings wakati alikuwa kama governor, he was among the best governor time yake.
Lakini anaweza kuwa alivuma governor kama wa Kakamega, lakini je, hiyo inamfanya awe na usemi nchi nzima? Because county politics na national politics are so different. Those are two different ball games altogether.
Exactly, Jax.
Because kuna watu wanaweza perform kwa county, but wakikuwa the country they cannot.
Exactly.
Is he able to do it?
To me, when we come to choosing between Oparanya and Joho, for me, I'll go with Oparanya. Oparanya is somebody ambaye ako sawa in his leadership. The skills ambaye ako nazo, you cannot compare him with Joho. Joho sijaiona kama ako na skills za leadership this is somebody ambaye tu ni mtu wa kujigamba, but ikifika upande wa leadership, I don't see any qualities in him.
Okay, now you're spoken about John Badi. You have spoken because you have talked of John Badi, who was fronted by Ida Odinga. Okay, now kulikuwa na mwingine alikuwa fronted by the brother of Raila Odinga, that is Oburu Odinga, who happens to be this guy, minority leader, Bwana Opiyo Wandayi. Between the two, who is able to take over the leadership of Luo? Because now you have said for the party you go with Oparanya. What of Luo politics? Who is able to marshal up and continue, the trend ya kushikanisha Luo?
Now, ikifika kwa Luo, that is a challenging question. Kwa sababu when I look at Mbadi. Mbadi ni mtu ambaye tunaweza kumuita wale vigogo wa ODM. Ni mtu ambaye amekuwa kwa ODM for a very long time. Na amekuwa vocal for a very long time. You see. But nikiona mtu kama Wandanyi, even though pia amekuwa kwa ODM for a very long time, but the vocal, tukija kwa vocal part, Mbadi amekuwa vocal sana kuliko Wandayi. You see. But watch how we have also other leaders. Yeah, we also have other leaders.
Lakini mbona Mbadi
okay.
No, Simba Arati anaenda kwa Kisii, all right?
Yeah.
Because they normally kind of classify Luo Nyanza, but I'm talking of Luo, achana the Nyanza itself. I'm talking of Luo Nyanza. Mbadi can't really take up that role because I am not so much conversant with Luo issues, but I'm asking this. Between Mbadi and Opiyo Wandayi, and not forgetting there are other guys who have been with Baba all along, like Orengo, James Orengo, like this lawyer Otiende Amolo, like this lady Millie Odhiambo, like this other person, what do you call this person? Governor of Kisumu, Anyang' Nyong'o. All these guys have been with Baba bumper to bumper. What happens to them? Can they hawajafika uwezo wa kulead, ama will go for slightly a younger person?
No, at the moment I think they will go for a young.
Because nimesahau Babu Owino and the others. Yes. Because nimesahau Babu Owino and the others. Na pia nilikuwa nimesahau, if you're talking about being vocal and being someone who is able to pull crowds and all, what of Sifuna, for crying out loud? I think Sifuna, for me, Sifuna almost fits all these puzzles and anajaza vizuri hizo pengo. What do you think? That's my take.
Sifuna can mobilize, but bado hajafikia taking over from Baba. Let's talk about the Luo.
Secretary General.
No, he's a Secretary General, yeah. But fitting that shoes of Baba, still Sifuna is fit pale bado. Yeah. But ako way far from reaching where Baba has. I wanted that.
What will we be looking? What will we be looking? What will we be looking for?
Before I come to that, Mr. Jakes, let us talk about these people ambao walimuongelea kina Anyang' Nyong'o, kina Orengo, kina huyu the lawyer na msahau jina yake from Siaya.
Otiende Amolo.
Otiende Amolo. Utapata kuwa these people wakati walikuwa young tax, wale ile time walikuwa young tax, mtu kama kina Orengo and kina the governor of Kisumu, they were so vocal. But sahi miaka zimeenda, so they are somehow young, they are somehow older, ambao sasa ukiwaangalia we taking over ODM inakuwa a very challenge to them. Wamekuwa old sana. Yeah, alafu ukiwa compare wao na baba bado amewaacha mbali sana. So taking over that leadership, it is not possible for them. Mtu kama Anyang' Nyong'o alafu mtu kama Orengo, even though they have been closer to Baba for a very long time, but taking over ODM they cannot manage. Sahi kila kitu may evolve. So it needs somebody ambaye at least is much more younger than them. Okay, going to Otiende Amolo. Otiende Amolo is somebody who is good, but sasa ukifika kwa area yake, as much as he's trying to deliver, kuna some challenges which people who are not wako pale. Kama this guy ambaye aliingia UDA, he was in ODM, alafu akaenda kwa sijili kwa UDM, baadaye sasa ndo juzi naona ashaingia kwa UDA kabisa. Huyo guy amekuwa akileta some narrative ambao sijaelewa. Although I don't come from Nyanza, I don't come from that area, but ukimsikiza utapata he's really blaming nini Otiende Amolo. Yeah, kuna things ambao Otiende Amolo amefanya ambao amekuwa blamed so much, and ukijaribu compare with the leadership utapata Otiende Amolo cannot take over ODM kwa sababu some allegation kwa si mzuri kwako, watu wakaanza kuleta some allegation kwako na leadership kwa inaleta challenge. So now we have kina nani, we have kina the mama ule the lion lady ambao umemtaja jina, she's so vocal and he's in
Millie Odhiambo.
Millie Odhiambo, she's so vocal.
Millie Odhiambo.
Kuna alafu kuna pia another woman ambaye is a governor sahi huko ambaye is the Gladys Wanga, who is also so vocal and is a good leader in those areas. We have a young guy ambaye ni Babu Owino, ambaye Babu Owino anapendwa na watu wengi because of how she is, and he's young, he's strong and everything, and also he's educated. Now that's why I was telling you, now when it naenda upande wa Nyanza, there's a big challenge where they needed somebody stronger, somebody like just Baba himself ambaye anaweza put those guys together, but wakati Baba anatoka into picture kwa hiyo area, lazima kutakuwa na mgawanyiko. That's why I was trying to compare between Badi and the minority leader. Nikikwambia kwa Badi amekuwa somehow more vocal than the way the minority leader amekuwa. But that is an issue ambao we really need to think deeper before we get somebody who can take over Nyanza, because Nyanza is a very challenging place to jaribu compare those people na watu ambao wamekuwa closer to Baba sana. So to me I still find no one. Yeah, I still find no one ambaye naweza sema 100% this one can take and lead that community bado.
Alex, are you in a position to communicate with me? Alexio. All right. I think Alex kuna challenge na his net from where he sits.
Network
Alex, can you hear me? Yeah. I'll be coming to him just now. I want us to listen to how Baba placed his words.
Former Governor Zali Hassan Joho and Wycliffe Oparanya with taking charge of the ODM party as he embarks on a continental campaign for the African Union Commission chairperson seat. Odinga, who was in Wajir County, said his absence should not lead to the crumbling of the ODM party. Stephen Leto has more.
Mimi nataka niwaambie hapa mchana, usiku na mapema, watu waelewe serikali inayokuja mwaka wa 2027 ni serikali ya ODM, na mambo ni mawili ama matatu pia, lakini ya muhimu ni mawili. Kama si Raila Amolo Odinga, basi ni Hassan Ali Joho.
Sasa wanapiga kelele ndani ya Nairobi, baba anaenda AU, baba anafanya hii. Tafadhali tuheshimiane. Tafadhali tuheshimiane. Tuheshimiane kwa sababu don't limit us. Baba anaweza enda popote hapa duniani, hata anaweza kuwa Secretary General ya AU, anaweza kuwa Secretary General ya UN, anaweza kuwa chairman ya ECOWAS, lakini mwishowe atabaki tumuche ODM. Mimi nahakikishia nyinyi hiyo.
Na mjue papa hakuna mahali anaenda. Ataendelea kushikilia sisi kwa chama cha ODM.
Chama sio mtu. Chama ni wanachama na viongozi. Na mimi na hakika hawa ambao niko nao hapa wanatosha. Watazidi kuendesha mambo ya chama hata kama mimi niko kula kisababu. Na kama wanataka ushauri, mimi niko tayari kuwashauri hao watu.
All right. This morning we are equally joined, just one moment, gentlemen. We're equally joined by Sylvia Mora on this auspicious morning where we're discussing several issues from ODM to Gachagua to all these issues. Sylvia, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. And you doing well?
We are doing well. Karibu sana kwa hii show.
Asante sana.
All right. Now tell me, what do you make of Raila exit, and who is rightful in picking up from where he will leave it?
Excuse me, I might not give any opinion at the moment because I was invited here by Mr. Alex and he has not updated me, so I have to take my time.
Oh, all right. I'll update you just now.
Mr. Jex.
One, I love that. I truly appreciate your honesty.
That's
all right. Karibu sana. Fantastic. I'll be telling you about what we are discussing just now. But Alex, let me ask you. I think you have been here with me before you left the back. Now ODM is an issue already to look at. Luo Nyanza as a region needs to have someone to be the replacement of one Raila Odinga. We are equally looking at Azimio, all right? And now Azimio will now inform the national politics. What you have found us discussing is what Raila Odinga gave as the people to inherit his leadership in ODM. He nominated one Hassan Joho and equally Oparanya. Now, my question to you is this: from the two, who is able to carry on with the mission of ODM?
Jex, let me inform you of one thing about ODM. I was one of the interceptions of the people formed the ODM. I remember when Michuki said, you remember when Michuki said, if a snake rattles you, you'll be bitten by it. You remember that time? The former... Yeah. So we were in that campaign, and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta was there. William Samoei Ruto was there. Musalia Mudavadi was there, and how many people? We were a couple of people when we formed ODM. I was part and parcel of the people that formed ODM, and I want to tell you that ODM is not going to die any soon. However, we have this personality cult politics whereby we jimver into something that Baba is bigger and larger than everybody. Okay? And this is a bad politics. This is a bad politics. And I fear that if we continue that manner, all political parties, like UDA is William Samoei Ruto, NSC is Musalia Mudavadi, Wetangula is Ford Kenya, though we cannot say parcel like that. But what I'm saying is this. I fear that with the going of Raila Amolo Odinga, we might see a resurgence of ODM, and we might see a diminishing faculty whereby we will be able to see the ODM party diminish, and that should not be the case. If you look at the three parties that are dominant right now in Kenya right now, it's UDA, it's ODM, and Jubilee. And Jubilee is as well as dead. Jubilee is as well as dead. So what I'm saying is this: we should not accept ODM to be dead. We must do everything in capacity to make sure that it reinstate itself to a point that we demedialize. I don't know if you understand that English, demedialize it, so that we get to a point whereby if Baba goes, ODM should not die. But Mr. G, you can agree with me that I think if Baba goes, ODM is dead. Oparanya cannot take over the party. If you look at Oparanya person, Mr. G, if you look at Oparanya, he does not have enough members of parliament. Joho at least anaweza chukua the governor of Mombasa, Mungatano, and others. But where do Oparanya go? When I gauge these two people, I see that Oparanya is a little bit disadvantaged. I don't know how you look at it. Nisaidie, Mr. G.
No, you know what I said in Kua, when you look at Oparanya, I try to compare the leadership ambao alikuwa nayo with the Kakamega, and compare the leadership ambao nani alikuwa nayo huku, ambao anaitwaje this Joho alikuwa nayo huku. That's why I said when I compare the two, I find Oparanya being a stronger man upande wa leadership. Leave alone hii vitu ya kama sisi wa Kenya, most of us watu tunapenda and when you look at Joho is overconfident. Hako na that picture ile overconfidence in doing things. But when you go to Oparanya, is a silent man, a cool man, but when it comes to leadership, he can deliver. So Joho hako na supporters in Mombasa, hako na supporters in Uganda, in Nairobi, ukenda Western kuna watu ambao wanampenda, ukenda Nyanza kuna watu ambao wanampenda, just because of that overconfidence. But not that he is competent and lead the ODM, no. But because of the confidence ambao konayo, people loves him. But ukenda kwa Oparanya, most of places hapendwi. yani si ati apendwi, yani hana followers ambao atasema
Mr. G, let's broaden our mind here. You see, there's a missing spice here, and I think I'm going to invite Irina Imba and maybe a couple of people to come to this debate because I know they respect me. But if you look at Oparanya does not have the Western mantle, okay? But Joho can command a respect of the custodians, kidogo. But Joho seems to be somebody, if you look at him, he was a betrayer for a long time. Hata wewe mwenyewe ulikuwa unajiuliza Joho ako wapi? Joho ako wapi? Wewe mwenyewe ulikuwa unajiuliza hapa Joho ako wapi? So mimi nikiangalia vizuri hii kitu inalegea kwa Simba Arati. Wachana maneno ya Oparanya, wachana maneno ya wachana maneno ya nani. Mimi naona hii kitu inalegea kwa Simba Arati. I swear to you. If you look at the meeting that Baba had in Kisii when he went from Homa Bay Investment Conference, akakuja Kisii, and then Kindiki came to Kisii in solving the issue of Osoro and Nani, courtesy of William Samoei Ruto. Wakati Baba walikutana na na William Samoei Ruto, alimwambia asolve kesi yake Simba Arati na Osoro. Alafu kaona vile Kindiki alikuja Kisii right away na hiyo kitu imekuwa resolved. Hii kitu wacheni kuiangalia Oparanya na nani. Hii kitu inaenda kwa Simba Arati. I'm not lying to you. I don't know how you see it.
All right, I'll be coming to you for you to expound more why you think Arati fits the bill. But I don't want to forget that we are equally in the presence of Sylvia. Sylvia, now tell me, what do you think of? I don't know which part we'll pick from, but pick it from here. Baba leaving for AU, what does that mean? Does he leave a vacuum in ODM? What happens in as far as Kenyan politics is concerned, from where you sit?
From where I sit, from where my views, thank you for the time you're giving me to air out my opinion. But that man is so dominant to ODM. He holds a very big part in that party. And if he even dares to get out of ODM, trust me not, there is going to be a very big gap. He does a lot in that party. Without him, the other people, they are not even that united. He brings those people of that party together. He is the one who holds them together. Without him, there is going to be a very big gap that will need a strong man, a man who is loved by the people, just like Raila. You know, Raila is loved. So for somebody to take his part or his seat to hold ODM, it must be someone who is loved by the people. And that's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. Yeah.
From where you sit, who has the of course, Dan can hit 100, but at least a percentage that can come close to people embracing, because we cannot live in a shell, but someone must take the role. Raila fronted two people, Joho and Oparanya. Alex is equally speaking of Simba Arati. Ida had spoken of one John Badi, but who, from where you sit, do you feel that probably this guy might, or even a woman, might slightly come close?
Then
Sorry?
Mr. Bundi is bringing up Simba. Okay, if we add Simba with those people, Simba is a man. He is a man who is loved with people. That man is loved, and he is known from Nairobi to Kisii, you see. And Kisii, you know, takes that part of ODM, and Nairobi, I think so. I'm not really sure. But if we remove Simba, I don't know, Oparanya and Joho speaks out. Joho could win over Oparanya, even if Oparanya has those qualities of a good leader, you know. But when we bring Simba in, Simba can.
All right. My final question to you: would you support Raila Odinga to move to AUC, or would you wish him to remain behind and push the Kenyan politics kidogo tu, hata kama bado we are yet to award him or rather give him the presidency position? Sylvia? All right, I seem to have lost Sylvia on that. But Mr. G, do you agree with the sentiments from Alex and Sylvia that, you know what, that probably we could be looking at the wrong people, that Simba Arati could be the man for the match?
Exactly. I agree with Alex and I agree with Sylvia. Although Alex hajataka kuongelea sana on this issue of Luo, but listening to what Sylvia has said, exactly, I agree 100% with what Sylvia has said. Baba cannot be compared with any person. In fact, hakuna mtu ako karibu kufikia ile part ambayo baba ako. Now, when it comes to ODM leadership, that's why I told you, Jex, that we people huwa tunaangalia sana mostly overconfidence, which we know mostly kwa overconfidence is just a natural result of privilege. Wakati mtu ako na that overconfidence, it's a natural, atakuwa privileged on everything ambayo anafanya. Oparanya has qualities of a good leader, but now Joho ako na that privilege because of his overconfidence. He has some privilege kupendwa na the whole country. Also, we cannot compare that love ya watu ambao wanapenda Joho na watu ambao wanapenda Oparanya. Joho ako na upper hand. That's why I agree also with Alex. Although Alex amongelea kuhusu Simba Arati, I wanted to talk about Simba Arati, ukaniambia tuache Simba Arati hayuko in Luo. That's why I wanted to listen to Alex talking about exactly Nyanza, not Simba Arati who is outside Nyanza now.
All right.
Because to me, naipata inakuwa ngumu sana to decide who can take over.
What do you make of Simba Arati? How?
Okay,
yes, I'm calling you. I want you to be.
I'm giving you a disclaimer here.
Alex, I'm calling you. I want you to answer your phone. Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. G, what do you make of Simba Arati? What makes him better?
Simba Arati. Just mute kidogo. Alex, mute kidogo, kuna hiyo nini? Yeah. Simba Arati is a person ambao he is so bold. Na huwa hawezi tishwa na mtu yoyote because he's a young man ambao anything happen ambao hajafurahia he will speak out. Hananga ile kujipendekeza sana, ile yani hana ile fear. The fear ambao huwa inapatikana kwa other leaders. To Simba Arati haiko. Alafu another thing, Simba Arati is somebody ambaye he can mobilize people. He's somebody ambao he's loved. Tukienda Nairobi anapendwa sana. You cannot compare him with any other leader like Oparanya. Ukija Mombasa, still Simba Arati has followers in Mombasa ambaye anapendwa. So he's a guy ambaye anapendwa. Alafu another thing is a guy ambaye ako wealthy, ako na pesa, and also in politics wealthy, pesa is a fact. Wealthy kwa ni fact kabisa kwa politics. Kama hauna pesa hauta succeed. That's why unapata mtu kama Kalonzo has mobilized the whole country when baba kwa anafanya, and that's why he cannot fit in that shoe ya baba. Now to Oparanya financially haiko that stable kama kina Simba Arati. That is one point ambao Simba Arati amemshinda. Another thing, the confidence ambao Simba Arati ako nayo, you cannot compare it to that one ambao nani ako nao. Oparanya is so cool. So Simba Arati kwa all these things understand out kwa person ambao he can take over ODM. Na I lead vizuri.
Oh, sorry. Interesting. I love the sentiments that you guys are bringing. But ladies and gentlemen, what we are looking at is what appears in your Daily Nation this morning, the battle for ODM's soul. That is the challenge that we are looking at this morning, where we are having two factions already, and this was created by the announcement by Raila Odinga over, I think, by the end of last week, where he fronted one Joho and Oparanya to be the rightful candidates or guys who replaces him as the chair of ODM. Now that is what we'll be looking at the whole of this week. I'm sure we'll get more, because herein lies the challenge that will be affecting ODM moving forward. Yesterday we saw photos of one Mr. Hassan Joho meeting the likes of we saw him with Babo Wino, we saw him with Ledamo Lekina, and that equally informs the war has already begun. The battle to inherit Raila Odinga has already begun. One team seemingly inaenda with the young team, that is the Joho side. Joho has been able to have in his team one Babu Wino, Ledamo Lekina, John Baadi, of course, Junet Mohammed, while Oparanya seems to be going to the older generation. He seems to have settled with Simba Rati, with Raila's brother, that is Oburu Odinga, equally with minority leader, that is Opiyo Wandayi, including equally the youngest there, I think, is Sifuna. Now, when you look at this combination from where you sit, Mr. G, who among them is able to really control the side ambayo atachukua? Joho, can he control the young tack? Oparanya, can he control the old tack? Can these two join forces, that one becomes the leader, the other one becomes the junior, so that the two, none of them becomes the chair? They work like co-chairs.
Okay, they can work as co-chairs, but still bado I see it kama kutakuwa na ile mgwaruzano kiasi. You know, always in leadership kunahitaji tuwe na one person who is a center of command, somebody ambayo ukikosa atakuita na akwambie kitu fulani ambayo imeharibika. And we need to have a center of command. But now tukikuja kwa these two people, even though tumeongea hapa na tukaambiwa kuwa we need also young tax kuwa pale kwa leadership, but also equally we also need the old tax kuwa pale for more advices. You know, tukija kwa mambo ya leadership is all about the knowledge and the evidence of hard facts ambao uko nazo. And in this leadership, exactly vitu ambavyo tunaangalia sana kuwa ni expertise, how expert you are in something, and the intelligence that you have in all these things ambazo zimekuzunguka. Alafu pia there's a factor of hard working ambao iko in that leadership. Apart from that, kuna pia another thing called connection ambao lazima iwe kwa leadership, you see. Alafu kuna that lack and confidence. Now tukija kwa lack and confidence, tunapata Joho ako on upper hand, kwa sababu in connection is more connected Joho than Oparanya yuko. Alafu tukija kwa confidence, Joho is much higher confidence, ako na confidence high kuliko how Oparanya is. So Joho anakuwa na ile upper hand. But now tukija kwa skills, expertise and intelligence, tunapata nani yuko juu? Tunapata Oparanya yuko juu kuliko Joho. The knowledgeable and everything, Joho yuko juu, yani Oparanya yuko juu. So those people, I'm not sure if they can work together. I love to say they can push this ODM part to a next level. To me, bado naikuwa na ile ugumu. Although I wanted to listen to Alex, because Alex had an opinion ambayo nilikuwa nataka nisikize on this issue. So there's something she wanted to talk, lakini network ni kama imesumbua.
Alright. Yeah. Alex, talk to us and tell us, what do you make of the photo I'm projecting there?
Okay, three things come in common, and unfortunately, I'm on side of ODM, and I will withhold my thoughts because that is part and parcel of what we are discussing right now, who to take over. But I can guarantee you that Joho has the charisma, but Oparanya has the loyalty. You see how that's wavering on. Joho has the charisma, Oparanya has the loyalty. Okay? But in the end of the game, you have to see somebody who can bankroll the activities. Remember what Sifuna has been saying since eminent years, that Ruto has not given the money for political parties. And therefore, it needs somebody who is able to bankroll the activities of ODM. And that one man is Raila. That one is Simba Arati. Simba Arati has the money. By the way, Simba Arati has his wife is from China, and if you can agree with me, Simba Arati has a lot of money when it comes to campaigning. But Oparanya has a disadvantage. Oparanya has a disadvantage. Joe is equally very rich, filthy rich, not even rich, wealthy. Okay? So Oparanya has one disadvantage. He doesn't have the cash. Okay? I don't know if Joe has a chopper, but I suspect Joe has a chopper, lakini amejifungulia chini. Okay? So for you to be able to campaign, you need a chopper. Okay? Raila has 3 of them, which puts Kalonzo Musyoka in a disadvantage. Okay? So you have to look at how the politics of Kenya is playing right now. People like Murkomen have choppers. People like Chesang have choppers. Now, when you look at it in totality, Oparanya has a disadvantage of money. Unasikia Mr. Jex? But loyalty to the party. Kama kuna mtu amekaa katika baba hii miezi yote, it's Oparanya. Unanielewa? So Oparanya has the voice of the people. But kama kikuwa pesa, huyo jamaa hana pesa ambayo anaweza campaign. So that is where the dilemma comes from. Simba Arati has the money. Simba Arati has the chopper. Simba Arati has the charisma. He can, uzuri wa Simba Arati ni hii. When I look at him, he is my personal friend. And I don't want kumuuza vizuri ama vibaya. But ukiangalia Simba Arati, kizungu yake na Kiingereza yake, Kiingereza ama no, he's both English and Swahili is so proficient. Unaelewa? So anapoongea watu wengi wanamsikiza. Unaelewa? Shida ya Oparanya hana hiyo speech. Unaelewa? So, and that's why I want us to change the narrative. Hii kitu baba sahi anasema ati ni Oparanya na Joho, it is not going to work. It is not going to work. I'll tell you, in the end of the game, Simba Arati is going to take that thing. And not because he's my personal friend. It's because charisma-wise, money-wise, and the way amejibuild. Hata wakati wote ukiangalia wakati walimchagua, unakumbuka nani anaitwa nani? Moses Kuria ndiye alimpigia simu akamwambia aje, wewe ndio utafanya nini? Wewe ndio utachukua kiti ya baba. So I don't know where we are paleting this. Baba anacheza watu wawili, but in the end of the game, the natural choice, mimi naona ni Simba Arati. Sioni kama Joho anaweza toboa hii kitu.
Let me ask you. All right.
Wacha niseme hii kitu kabla hujaongea Jeff. Ukiangalia cost, Joho ameshika hivi. Okay? Ukiangalia Waislamu hata wakati walienda Wajir the other day, Joho ameshika hivi. Unaelewa? Lakini ukiangalia Wajaluo na Western, watu ambao watu wanaangalia ni Simba Arati. Maina Simba Arati, unajua huyu jamaa amekuwa nini wa Dagoretti, MP wa Dagoretti. Mimi napoangalia Nairobi ameishika hivi. Okay? Ukiangalia
even in the coastal area yeye anaweza kukubaliwa kuliko nani Oparanya. Ukiangalia Western anaweza kukubalika na Wajaluo already wamemkubali. So if you look at the natural hair of Raila Amolo Odinga is Simba Arati. We cannot question about that. I don't know how you look at all these things, but munaweza ni educate, muniambie vile unafikiria. Sylvia, Mr. G, meet my wife there. That's my wife.
Pleasure, sir. I'm happy you have a wonderful wife. Ambaye is so wise and he's actually, how can you put it? Mtatumia jina gani? Because I think he's good in politics too.
Unaona hii kiti ya 2027 Mr. Jex tutaichukua ama tutachukua?
Allow me not to answer that one. Sylvia, what do you make what do you make of what Alex is saying?
I'm a student to Alex, So when he says something, I read it.
Sorry?
And I'm like, okay, you can't hear me?
No,
yeah, I can hear you now.
You're audible, yeah.
You're good. You're now good. Go ahead.
I'm a student to Mr. Bundi. So when he says something, I'm reading it. And, we are trying to bring out a common feature in these three parties when you include Joho, Oparanya, and Mr. Simba. And they have some things in common. But there's this one person who has all of those things, and there are these two people who lacks one or two. You see, Oparanya is lacking the cash, and Joho, he has the cash, he has the speech, he has the way to attract people. But when it comes to rule, then we give it back to Simba Arati. Arati can rule better than Joho, you see. Joho is missing ruling, Oparanya is missing the cash. But when you come to Simba Arati, he has all those things we are looking for. He has the cash, he has the ruling, he has the ability to convince people, he has the way of articulating words to convince somebody to vote for him. He has everything that we want. So when we come to if we were to vote today, then we were going to vote for Simba Arati because he has everything we are looking for. And then if the decision is going to be on Baba's hands to vote between Joho and Oparanya, then Oparanya has to see what he is lacking and bring it in to take it, because I think he can do better than Joho, but he has to see what is making Joho defeat him, you see. Because what is making Joho to defeat him is something he can get, but what can make Joho defeat Oparanya is something he can get. He does not have it, and he is already a grown-up. He's not gonna get it right now because he never had it before. He does not have that royalty. He does not have. He's not that good in ruling. It's something he does not have that Oparanya has. So it's from Oparanya to work hard and find a way to talk to people, to convince people. And trust me, but if we were to say, let's vote today, and if Simba was to do his rallies and find for votes, those two, they cannot defeat him. They can't. That man is so smart. Yeah.
But gentlemen and wonderful lady, I think we are equally, almost all of us, not getting my question. I'm not talking of the national politics. I'm talking of ODM, because national politics is now a different ball game altogether. Because now that brings in it now brings other people to this conversation. It brings the likes of Akina Kalonzo, Akina Karua, Akina Kioni, all those guys, when it is national. But what I was tailoring my question on was ODM. And you have tried to explain that finance makes something, that charisma is something we should consider, the ability to pull crowd, the ability to articulate your points, all that. Now, what I think you guys are almost bringing out is a national person who needs to have all this. But for ODM, what does this person need to have to maintain ODM, to hold it together, and to take it to the next level?
You see,
Yeah.
we are feeling the shoes of somebody who is larger than life.
Mm-hmm.
You understand where we're coming from? That the 3 previous presidents have worked with this guy. You cannot rule Kenya without Raila Amolo Odinga. It's been proven. Okay? Moi worked with him. Okay? Kibaki worked with him. Uhuru worked with him. Now Ruto is working with him. So this is a man who is the eminent of the politics. He supersedes what we call Ographio politics, if you understand. So when you are stepping in his shoes, you have to be very careful who can take over. As my wife has said, the brains of Joho alone cannot. It has to be taken, okay, one by one by one. It is 3 people who will fill the shoes of Raila Amolo Odinga. It's not going to be as easy as you may think. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
Now, if it takes 3 to fill for ODM, how many will it take to fill for Azimio? Let me begin with you, Mr. G. If it takes 3 to fill for ODM, now that's a party. What of a coalition like Azimio? What will it take to fill the position of someone, as Alex is describing, who is larger than life?
Even before answering that question, Mr. Jakes, I think we are on the right track, because the way Alex has answered the question and the way Sylvia has answered the question, I think we are on the right track on this issue of ODM. ODM is a big party that is led by somebody called Raila, the enigma of politics. So this guy, we cannot talk about just a small guy to say maybe tunaongea kuhusu Badi and any other person, alafu tuna give those simple qualities ambazo zina take. No, we need to talk about somebody who is really qualified of it. And as you know, Mr. Jakes, on this issue of leadership, for somebody to emerge as a leader, always kuna a group of people ambao wana replace that narcissism of them with the self-love. Ndio akuja wapende mtu ndio mtu aweze emerge as a leader. But that is not all about it. Kuna that issue of skills, the leadership skills ambao the person has, ambao anaweza chukua. And also there's that confidence ambao ako nayo. But for us, some of us sometimes what tunaenda na that assumption kuwa somebody is just a great leader because he's overconfident of things that he does. But kuna hivi vitu ambao tumeongelea, issue of having liquid, being stable, the money ambao somebody has, and that confidence ambao somebody has. Yeah, the liquidity. Alafu pia kuna that confidence ambao somebody has. Looking at these people, utapata only one person can make it. But now the question is this person loved with everyone in that party? Can he command that party? Can somebody listen to him and bow and listen and do what maybe anataka? That is now the question maybe you may ask. But tukija kwa qualities and leadership, we have people in ODM who can lead it, but they still can't fit on the shoe of Baba. Baba, si ati Baba ametupeleka mahali tunataka kila siku. Kuna mahali ambayo ametu let down. Kama this issue of working with Ruto, to me, it is as if ni kama betrayal, you see. I never expected Baba to work with Ruto because my conscience cannot allow me to work with Ruto. But now kumbuka kuna that seat, AU seat, ambayo ina connect that thing. Sasa again, hakuna betutaweza kumblame kwa sababu he has to be supported by the president. Ambao the president is this guy ambao sisi hatumpendi, ambao sisi hatumtaki. Now tutafanya nini? Itabidi tu back, turudi chini. That means that in leadership, si lazima utakuwa 100%, but there's something that you carry ambao inafanya watu wakuja wakuchukue kama their leader. You see, coming to Azimio. Juzi tu, I think 2 days ama 3 days ago, tumeona nani akiwa anajisifu sana Mr. Kalonzo, ambaye for us tulikuwa tuna expect kuwa he's a good leader, angeza kuchukua Azimio aipeleke mbele. But listen to him akiwa State House, how he was talking. mpaka anapiga wale watu wake, the people, the leaders from ODM and from Azimio, anawapiga akisema some of us in our coalition wamepinga hii kitu kwa sababu hawataki peace in our country. Those are the words coming from Azimio leader who is Kalonzo. Anasema some of our coalition people hawakutaka hii kitu ambayo ni NADCO report. What does NADCO report benefit us kama mwananchi wa chini? Nothing. But anasimama mbele ya president anatuambia kuwa some of our colleagues in our team, in our coalition wameipinga, in our coalition wameipinga because they don't want peace. Sasa mtu kama huyo akichukua Azimio kama leader, si anatupeleka ODM and this time anatupeleka kwa UDA. This is something that I told you last time tulikuwa na that show, that when Kalonzo take over Azimio atapeleka watu wote kwa UDA. Hakuna mahali anatupeleka. So tutabaki na nani? We are looking at our mama. We are looking at ourselves. Okay, go ahead, Alex.
No, allow Sylvia to give her views on regard that. Sylvia, my dear, what do you think about Kalonzo? Do you think can he be able to take over from Raila Odinga? What's your view?
Kalonzo is too minor. Kalonzo is too minor to bring to those three top I call them lions. Let me say that lions, or we have a lion and an elephant and maybe a buffalo. No. Kalonzo is too minor. You can't bring him to this seat. He's too minor. You know, you can't. You know, there is something. You can't compete with this three. You can't. You can't.
That is why I'm saying, Jex, let's not be non-starters here. Azimio is dead. What you are looking at is Baba rebuilding ODM. Azimio is dead. Martha Karua, you haven't seen Martha Karua for how many days now? When did you see Martha Karua last, Mr. Jex?
She's preparing for that meeting, the Rimuru 3. She's very busy. She's preparing for that meeting, the Rimuru 3, which will have
politics. Let's talk about politics here, my friend. Watch him manene ya porojo. Jubilee is dead.
No.
No, hold on. Listen to me. There's value in listening and there's civilization in listening. Jubilee is dead. Uhuru is dead. Mount Kenya is dead. Mbadi is dead. The only person that we are looking here is Simba Arati. The only person that I can guarantee you. Watch hii porojo munaongea hapa bwana. The guy has money. The guy has charisma. And that's why you see, if you look at him very well, that's why William Samoei Ruto is fighting him. Wewe unaona nani anapigana Kenya mzima? Osoro anapigana na nani? I'm telling you, the only person that William Samoei Ruto fears is Simba Arati.
And Bundi, talking on that, if at one point we assumed like Raila had what Simba Arati has right now, the last elections, he could have won. You know, Simba and Ruto, those two people, they have a thing. They know how to do it. They know how to play the cards very well. And to see who is on the level of Ruto, it's only Simba Arati in politics like right now. Nobody else. Nobody can fit Ruto except Simba Arati. He knows the tactics very well. You see? And when you're bringing in likes of Kalonzo, no, Kalonzo is too minor. Just play around the Zoho because he's kind of off. And Oparanya because he has the ability to. But for the rest, Karua, whatever, no, they have to come later. They have a long way to go.
Yani, did you just summarize Karua as a later person?
No.
It's not about your brains. I'm talking of that part. Did she just say that Karua can come in later? Yani baadaye, she's a later case. Interesting. Well, now let's come back to you.
Let's say this, Jex. Let's say this. The other day, Ruto was with Ngilu and Alimu, and we had this debate here. Was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? Wakati Ruto alisifu Karua, not Karua, Ngilu, as a pioneer for the first woman to run for presidency. Okay,
which is
if we were to look at brains, if we have to look at charisma, if we have to look at everything that encircles a person who can become a president and succeed in Kenya, you cannot compare Ngilu with Martha Karua. But however, because of the matrix of Mount Kenya, that is where now Nani anakuja, Martha Karua. But when it comes with a package, Ngilu anashinda wote. Unaelewa? So let me tell you, this conversation is going to change the moment. Now, you see, like Stella, we had a conversation with Stella when we used to be Afrique 24. And I told Stella, when it comes to running for presidency, it's not as easy as you may think. You require cash. You require a chopper. You require so much that Babu Owino does not have that package right now. In the future, maybe yes. Okay? Okay. Kalonzo has a disadvantage because the bankrollers of Kalonzo used to be Mudama and Mutula Jr. Right now, he has no bankrollers. The guy can't even go. He's Mayaspas around, the Kamba area. Hakuna mali anaendanga tu hapo Kamba area. But when you look at Simba Arati, ukiangalia wakati alienda ile matanga ya, when he went to the investment conference, ilikuwa Homa Bay ya Gladys Wanga, is accepted. Ukiangalia wakati alienda Korea, is accepted. Ukiangalia wakati alienda Coast, is accepted. So what I can tell you is this. Hii maneno ya Oparanya na Joho wachana nayo. Those are nonsensical waffles. Okay? Joho, let me tell you one thing that you need to know about Joho. Joho, hata kama tumekuwa kumtetea miaka nyingi, Joho hana degree. You need to know that. That's a fact. Joho cannot rule a party like ODM.
All right.
Okay.
Now I want to leave you and come back in the next 10 minutes. You guys are well able to continue, but as I'm coming back, this is the question I want you guys to be answering to our viewers.
You can't leave because you can't.
I'm picking something here. I want to ask you this question, and I will begin with you, Mr. G, then come to you, Alex, and Alex, you lash in Sylvia. I want to ask you this question. Does loyalty count for anything? Because you described Oparanya as one person who has been loyal. The next person who has tried to be loyal at some instance has been Kalonzo. All this while, does it not count for anything? So as at least manze mumwachie hata kama ni one time, manze he's not getting any younger. So if not now, when will it ever be Kalonzo's turn? Let me begin with you, Mr. G. Then Mr. G will usher in Alex, who will equally usher in Sylvia. Tell us, does loyalty and politics eventually pay up?
Okay, on the issue of royalty always pays, but now hatuwezi enda kwa royalty because of sympathy. You know how you are putting the question, tukilinganisha na Kalonzo, maybe you are talking about sympathy. Kwa sababu tukienda on sympathy and royalty, then tunaweza patia Kalonzo. But when we come to royalty and leadership, I think sometimes even royalty does not matter. Unaweza kuwa royal to somebody, but you don't have the qualities of leading that party ambao unafaa kuachiwa. So people have to see the skills, the knowledge ambao uko nao ambao inaweza push this party ahead. Usipatie mtu because of that reality, unampatia party alafu kesho yake imeshavunjika. Even though it matters also, reality is a good thing, but to me I think skills itakuwa better than reality. Back to you, Honorable Alex.
Yeah, Sylvia, what do you make of that loyalty and sympathy votes? What do you think? Oparanya, does he qualify to? Because I think we are circumventing on the same issue. What do you think about loyalty and sympathy?
Hey, loyalty and sympathy. That sympathy ya watu Kalonzo umemwonea sana wewe. But let's see. Loyalty is very important here. We don't want somebody who is going to be given an office to rule. Mwenye atapewa kitu kidogo ambiwe nyamaza. You know how Ruto does his things, and you know how he can do his things, and you know how smart he is, and you know how good he can take advantage of somebody who is not mwenye atapeana space. Hatutaki mtu atapeana space ya kuua ODM. We want somebody who can stand for ODM with or without support. Tutaki mtu ambaye ataambiwa leo tulia, we will give you next term, na atulie. We want somebody who will stand just like any other man and be ready to rule the party. You know, when you say Kalonzo, you know, for me, Kalonzo, I don't even have anything to say about him. Kalonzo is too lazy, if I can say. He's too lazy at some point. Ajitumi vile. And when we come to Oparanya, he has been there, he knows it, and I think he cannot be against ODM at any point. All Oparanya needs is some addition of confidence and some addition of capital to win this thing. You know, but for the rest, Simba has everything. If he comes in, those two people are dead. If he comes in, not unless he decides he's not coming in. If he says no, okay, but if he says yes, hatuna kitu ya kuongea.
And I think Simba is actually, if you look at Simba, the way he has positioned himself, I don't know if I'm biased. He's my personal friend. He's my personal friend, and I like him as a person since the Polytechnic years when he went to school in the Kenya Polytechnic with my cousin who is called Lillian Warong. And both of them, they were student leaders. When you look at Simba, he has gradually built himself from councillor to MP to governor, and the protocol follows him that the guy is qualified. If you look at Hassan Joho or Oparanya, these were people who were brought into politics by Baba. They were handpicked. But Simba built himself from the lowest point to where he is right now. I swear to you, Mr. G, hata kama umevaa hiyo yellow yenye sipendi kabisa ya UDA. Hata kama umevaa hiyo yellow ya UDA, but I can tell you and I can guarantee you, Simba Arati, when he came to vie for governorship ya Kisii County, I'm one person who never believed that Simba Arati was going to win that seat. In fact, if Jex, you remember, I'm one person who refused to give my vote to Simba Arati. If you can remember, tukikuwa Mtembe, I totally refused. But the guy did his homework very well. By the time he stormed to Kisii, nobody could be able to defeat him. Ongeri, Ongwae, and Obure, these are giants, gigantic people who have money, larger than life, but they could not defeat that boy. I tell you, I'm from Kisii. Kutoka daraja moja hadi daraja mbili,
hadi ile stage ya kwenda Migori. When Simba was storming during the campaign, everything was coming to a stop stand. And we start wondering, where did this boy remove all this money from? So I can guarantee you that maneno ya Kalonzo wacha kuongea hapa. When that boy will make his national politics and come to effective, mutashanga. Thank you.
All right. Now, my last question for this show, so that you will allow me to, I don't know if you exhausted on loyalty, but I see your hand, Mr. G. Go ahead before I bring in my last question.
Before you bring the last question, I think there's something that I needed to address. You know, when I talked about Kalonzo and the sympathy, Kalonzo has been loyal to Baba, but this Kalonzo is the same person ambaye alituambia kuwa akisupport Baba atakuwa mjinga wa mwisho. Do you know how he used to behave? Hiyo time tulikuwa tunamhitaji sana pale wakati wa election. So Kalonzo, for me kusema kwa maybe the sympathy vote is just because Kalonzo hakuonyesha that leadership ambayo tunahitaji. You know, in leadership, sometimes hata wacha in leadership, sometimes we always fail wakati tunakosa to address the exact issue. Kama, let me just give you an example before, although itakuwa nje kidogo ya hii, but I think italeta kitu fulani ambao utakuja kuelewa what I'm talking about. There's this guy called Roger Fidel ambaye he's the winner of Olympic mambo ya tennis. I think he always played the tennis. One time he was asked, aliuliza tu swali, to reveal the secret of his success. Do you know the response that he gave? He said that it is all down to confidence and self-belief. That is what he said, ambayo inafanya amekuwa winner 8 times. But now when we ask ourselves a question, just being confident, that being just confident of something and then self-belief can take you to lead that thing, to lead the and kuwa the winner 8 times of that tennis when everyone lead. To me, that one does not work, even though having that belief in yourself and confidence inasaidia kidogo, but there's talent in you that you have to show, and in this talent you have to practice to make that talents be strong, na hiyo ndio itakusaidia uweze kuwin in anything. Sasa uwezi kuja uache talent mbali, uache skills mbali, utuambie kwa just believe. Just believing in you cannot make you a winner of something. You have to practice for something. Confidence is good when you practice something, but confidence alone haikupati that thing that you need to win something. So what I'm trying to say ni kuwa we need to know that in leadership hatutaendea tu kwa mtu kwa sababu amekuwa party wetu, because amekuwa royal kwetu and he lacks that skills. He need to show us that he is able. Kama we give him as a president, is he strong enough to lead us to where we want to go? Ama ni mtu vene our lady Sylvia ametuambia atapewa tu pesa because we know how nani behave, how Ruto behave. Ruto akija akapatia nani bilioni 1, akapatia Kalonzo bilioni 1, akamwambia wewe kuja tufanye kazi, I'm sure he'll come na afanye kazi, bora apewe magari mengi, apewe security, he'll come. But we need a leader ambaye even akiwa offered that billion ama 2 billion ama 5 billion atasema no, I'm standing with people, which even tumepata pia kwa Baba. Sometimes siwezi sema Baba amekuwa offered money, but Baba sometimes ametuacha akaenda kufanya na watu ambao tulikuwa tunataka afanye nao kazi. But a time comes whereby we need now somebody ambaye when he's offered money ata choose people rather than choosing money. He will stand with the people, he will fight for people rather than let people down, aanze kufuata pesa atuache kwa mataa. What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say ni kuwa when I said about sympathy, Kalonzo tukisema tunampatia leadership ya Azimio, tunampatia because of sympathy, not because that he qualified to be a leader that can lead Azimio, but because of that sympathy, tuna sympathize with him, we can give him that leadership, but he doesn't qualify for that leadership. Back to you, Jackson.
Anyone with anything to add, so that nikiweza swali ya mwisho nisiambiwe na kaziana, because we have to come to an end. Good things have good endings, and equally we have another nice show in the evening, so hatuwezi maliza kila utamu saizi. Now my last question is, and I think this time I'll begin with our ladies, Mora, let me ask you, are we looking at BBI reloaded, in the sense that the NADCO report was submitted to the president and Raila Odinga, and this week, if not next week, I'm almost certain we'll be looking at part 2 of handshake. That one you can take it to the nearest circle if you don't have a bank near you. That we could be looking at a handshake, or we could be looking at our screens where the president and Raila Odinga will be sharing the same ground or similar venue and talking almost the same thing, and that will be the NADCO report, either this week or next week or in the very near future. Are we looking at BBI reloaded in the name of NADCO? And eventually, will we now usher in not the handshake government, but now the NADCO government?
I think sometimes we decide, and the politics, the nature will dictate them. But let us see, how many things are at hand right now? People want Baba for AU. People want I don't know what. You have come with the Baba wants somebody who will reign over him. You know, we have a lot at hand. But when it comes to the issue of AI and handshake, those two things are in the hands of Ruto and Raila Odinga. And at some point, you can see that two people are already together. You know, Ruto sees, he knows tomorrow. He knows the probability of Raila Odinga taking the AU seat is very high. He might. And he's not gonna let Raila go. And you know, Raila just accepting to let all these things of kupinga, nini, maandamano, you know, he didn't just do it because maybe he was given something or he's gonna be offered something. He just left it because he said, like, okay, he's the president, let him be the president. Let me go for something else, and we have next time. You know, Raila is a tenacious man, a man who never gives up. He's ever going. And this thing of BBI and handshake, it's in the hands of Raila and Ruto. And at this point, if Raila decides like it's gonna be back, or Ruto decides like it's gonna be back, it will be back. Hakuna kitu tutafanya. It will be back, and the handshake will be there, and hakuna kitu tutafanya. Hakuna. Those two people have it in hand, and they'll deal with it. So that is, we leave it to them. Yeah, they'll do it so
All
well.
right.
Yeah.
We leave it to them. They might do it so well. Mr. G, this question najua hutaki kuisikia, but we must face the reality. And with me, I'll make sure that you have the best palliative care possible, especially managing the fact that William Ruto will be working with one Raila Odinga, and you could be seeing a soft handshake any day from today. That one, you can take it to the nearest circle. No, you love banks. Take it to the nearest bank. Are we staring at another handshake, or actually are we even there already? And two, is BBI coming back? BBI version NADCO, is it coming back? And this time round, will it see the light of day, given that the last time the courts did us a favor? This time round, are we on our own because William Ruto has succeeded in taking the courts? Given that even Isaac Hassan, his name has been shortlisted to the people who are going to be judges in around April, where the 18th thereabout, where they'll be shortlisted. Already William Ruto is gaining some favors kwa majaji. So in NADCO inaweza say through and through iende nayo. So what do you make of it?
Okay, Jakes, before I answer that question, let me just finish something that I forgot to answer. Nilikuwa ninaongelea lastly on this issue.
What did you?
No, kuna hii issue ya nilikuwa naongelea ya confidence, and I wanted to bring in something that nikasahau. At the current situation ambayo tuko sahi in Kenya, naambiwa kuwa a number of people wako na fake degrees. wako na fake education credentials. Na tumepata in most of these institutions mpaka kwa judges tunapata wako, kwa hospitali wako. That's why I was talking about the difference between having a confidence person, giving him a leadership, and somebody who has the right skills that could lead. You know, you cannot just see somebody because out of confidence and then you give him leadership either to lead. That is where we are ending up. Unapata kwa hospitali somebody hana that qualification, hana that credential, lakini amepewa that post. Why? Because he is confident in himself. He knows that another could perform that job na anapewa because anaonekana, and that is how we judge we are people. But at times comes whereby we need to look at the skills of somebody. Ukweli huyu jamaa ako perfect, he's able to do that thing. That's why when I gave an example of that guy, the Fidel ambaye anacheza tennis, winning 8 times. He said because of his confidence and his self-belief, which to me, I don't agree in that, even though self-confidence ni mzuri. But for me, I believe his talent, the skills ambako nao nimefanya paka kafika pale mali yuko. Sahi, when somebody has a confidence, for instance, to take like a surgeon, he has confidence himself, alafu akuja na panga, anataka kukufanya nini, anataka kufanya surgery, utakubaliana naye because of his confidence. He believed that he can. Wewe umemwona amekuja na panga, anataka kufanya surgery on you, kweli utakubali? Hawezi kubali because it does not resonate, you see. But for us, kwa sababu we cannot look into these skills that people deeper to skills ambao people ana carry so that we can give them their jobs. Si tunaangalia that confidence that he has, the overconfidence side part ambao ako nayo, alafu tuna misquote na that competency ambao tunahitaji. Now go into your question, Mr. Jakes. You asked about the handshake. To me, I see handshake ni kitu ambao tayari tushaingia tayari ndani. We are in the handshake tayari. Kwa sababu gani? Baba anahitaji support of this guy ambao ni Ruto. Support so that he can get that seat of AU. Na sasa kwa sahi hakuna mahali uta expect baba aanze kusema tukate miti. Hakuna siku tutaikata miti tena. Hakuna siku baba ataongea evil against this man kwa sababu he needs the support of him. And that's why sasa tunabaki tukionekana ni kama tumekuwa betrayed, which is not really true, but that is the picture ambayo inakuwa created whereby tumebaki sasa sisi tuko nje. Sasa tumeambiwa kana Kalonzo wanafaa waanze kupush what baba used to push, which is not possible. Kalonzo hana that power to take what baba used to do. Sasa what next? Tumebaki kwa mata. We are in the handshake kabisa. Or the issue akina Hassan ambao ameletwa into equation sahi, Kalonzo ani Ruto ako far back, ako and still not back, far ahead of us. Ameangalia the election ambazo zinakuja. Yeah, even past 27 ambayo inakuja, and putting this people pale kwa hiyo post, anajua what he's doing in case baba akuje, of which is a narrative ambayo nimekwambia baba wake uongo. Hii mambo kutuambia kwa anaenda sijui AU 2 years alafu akuje akiitwa anakuja, those are lies ambayo baba anafaa aache. Sasa he's a man ambaye anafaa simame na ukweli. Kutudanganya kuwa hapa AU itamchukua 45 hours ama 2 hours, amefika Nairobi akule lunch, akimbia sijibu si akule sapa alale, those are lies. Yeye aliresign kwa ile position ya infrastructure kwa AU just to come and do politics in Kenya. Sahi apewe that chairmanship post ya AU, atapata happy time ya kukuja hapa aanze kufanya politics tena. That is not possible. Those are lies ambao baba aache kutumanage, atuambie ukweli kuwa yeye anatoka kwa politics ya Kenya. Tumejibaki peke yetu, hatuna mtu mwingine kama baba kutufaitia. Yeye anaenda kabisa. Now handshake iko hapa na sisi, nothing we can do. Hakuna kitu tunaweza kufanya. Ruto ashajipanga mbeleni what he's going to when atachukua power, because that is what he knows well best. See at Ruto ako na plan, the way he used to tell us that he has a plan of this country. That he doesn't have a plan for this country. He has plan to take power only, nothing else. Back to you, Jax.
All right, BBI, is it coming back? Yondo Mesao.
I'm not sure if BBI will come, but it may come back because that is something that it was in the heart of Baba, you see. Alafu another thing ni kitu ambayo ilikuwa beneficial kwa watu wa Central Kenya. So he may push it to come back kwa sababu iliangushwa only because akinani aliparticipate, at President Uhuru aliparticipate. That was some of the reasons ambayo iliangushwa, which means haikuwa tukienda kwa facts, those things hata hazijaangaliwa, you see. So to me it may come back, but in another way, in another form.
All right. Aha. Now who do I come with? I want to finish with Mora. I want to be very kind to finish with Mora. Alex. The big question. Handshake.
Okay. Yes. Just an intervention. The BBI will come back, but I want you to quote me here and categorically tell you one thing about the BBI. It will come minus one man, one vote. Ruto will never give Kiambu 14 more constituencies. Take it to the bank. The BBI will come minus one man, one vote. And that is that will be the drawing point of Kimani Ichung'wah, Moses Kuria, Rigathi Gachagua, Ndindi Nyoro from Ruto. And that is where we are going to find that his support base in Nyanza is going to give Nyanza more constituencies. It's going to be messy and nasty. We said this year, was it the day before yesterday? It's going to be nasty and messy and so bad when you see Kisii get 4 more constituencies. Luo Nyanza will get 8 more constituencies. You will see kwa kina nani hata kama anasema akona roots huko Uganda, lakini Vihiga will get another MPs.
Just one moment, Alex. The court made its pronouncement about that, and on the BBI issue and how those constituencies were demarcated or whatever. The court said that that is purely the role of IEBC. Of course, you may put me to task and tell me that IEBC will be constituted through the
Just listen to me. It is going to be purely a political process. Take it to the bank. It's going to be negotiable. Hakuna manena ati ya si constitutional, si IEBC or no. It's going to be a political process whereby people are going to negotiate. Now, I guarantee you, hakuna hata constituency moja itapeleka Kiambu, because William Samoei Ruto will refuse that. And let me tell you, the people, the Tugegas who voted for this government, they are going to cry. Ruto is the man, and I've said it. I have
for the first time in any show. Something I've done to
I have opined here several times that Ruto is the man who said that. Ruto is the same man who said here, kama kuna jamii iko na shida na Wakikuyu ni sisi wa Kalenjin. You know, I always repeat this here. The problem is that
yes, you have.
Do not want to hear that.
There is a problem. There's a problem with that statement in 3 areas. Number one, and I've always avoided saying this, but we always forget that it is not Mount Kenya alone that voted, which equally is their constitutional right to vote for their preferred candidate. Whether it was Raila who won, that was the person who was the preferred candidate on either side of the team that won. My argument is this, that it truly doesn't matter what happens from here on, because any politician must think of a voting basket. Any politician, whether you want to dream in upside down, you have to think of the voting pattern. One of the things any politician can never do is to risk a voting basket. I don't think, from where I sit now, this is me participating in a debate. I don't think, from where I sit, that William Ruto, in his rightful sense, as shrewd as he is, as calculative as he is, he can be willing to gamble on a bird in the bush while he has two in his hands. One, he has a voting basket that has already placed him in power. He has a gambling basket that he's not sure if it will work or not work for him. All right. So I don't think what you're saying that Mount Kenya will suffer by not getting constituencies, because number one, it's not constitutional. Number two, he cannot, and this one you can quote me or quote anyone else. He cannot show a sense of defavoring Mount Kenya. In any case, look at the appointments. He has always favored the baskets that have voted for him. He has not gone out of his way to favor any other region. Look at this. The appointments have even KRA the other day, or rather the courts, have made a pronouncement about this form of appointment. It has favored some certain regions. So even when that time will come, I don't think, from where I sit, Mount Kenya will be disadvantaged. Call them the gadgets that you would, but they want you not to forget this. It is not just them that voted. Challenge is equally, and I don't want us to degenerate to tribal or whatever, but there are other tribes that voted for him. And equally so, they will equally benefit. So don't just tailor it down to one region, given that it has a huge population. No. Also remember, Kalenjins voted. What happens to them? Ruto cannot just create a scenario where if he's out of power, all right, his community will equally suffer. No, I don't think he's that down. I don't think so. That's from where I sit, and that's me participating in the conversation. Let me come back to being the moderator. Please go on with your submissions.
You know, Jax, let me tell you something. I think today you have degenerated to become something.
Now you see, when I try to participate, I degenerate.
Jax, today you are proving that your name can betray you.
Not really. And there's where you know there's a day you really made me happy. You thought I'm a cute, eh? You know, wait. Before you profile me now, before you profile me, you're about to profile me, and I know you. Now listen, just argue from this level. What happens when BBI comes? Don't argue in the level of Mount Kenya, blah blah. Because by the end of the day, I can tell you for free, it will not.
Let me interject on that. Thanks for guiding me.
Yeah.
Thank you on that.
Yeah.
The BBI will come in, and BBI will pass against what William. You know, there is a difference when you are running for an office and when you are now administrating.
Yeah.
Okay. So right now, Ruto has an advantage to procure and do what he's supposed to do, the right thing. Okay. So the BBI will come in. BBI will come, but he will want to saturate it. Okay. To a point that what Moses and other people wanted, one man, one vote, he will want that it should not succeed. Okay.
That's what you are right on that. You are right.
Yeah. Okay. So the other thing is this: what would the Kalenjin get out of it? Okay. Now that's the bigger picture, because in one man, one vote, the Kalenjins were excluded from those many constituencies. Remember that. So what I'm saying is this: Ruto will plan to craft another BBI whereby he will bribe the Luo Nyanza in order to get something also for his people. Okay. So we are going to see like Suba area, the Suba area, Homa Bay larger, because the politics of Kenya right now is based on the Homa Bay. If you have ever seen the last few days, and even Ruto saying that his running mate will be a woman next time, he's crafting on Wanga. Okay, and that's why we are looking at Gladys Wanda. Okay, it can't be from our home. But these are two nylons. We don't know how it's going to play, but we pray that it doesn't happen. But when you look at it rhetorically, I see a point whereby the BBI is going to be saturated to favor. Let me tell you, Raila is larger than life. The Luos are going to benefit more from the BBI than what they will have gotten from Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta.
There you are right, and I agree.
Okay, so we failed to get a leader who is already a leader. Okay. For Ruto to succeed and be there for 10 years, he needs Raila Amolo Odinga. And the Luos are going actually to benefit more than any other time. Wachana ile maneno ya Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Okay? And this is where I want to say something that maybe you can forgive me. And I have feared to say this, but allow me to say this, Jex, today. The Kisses are playing bad politics. Okay? We must remember our brothers from the larger Mount Kenya. Okay? Because when the politics of Kenya will come to look at the housing levy, it's put there because of the Kisses, the matatus, and the matatus, and what an nikuulize, Mr. G. Ukiangalia, and maybe my beloved one will help me here. Ukiangalia matatu za Kenya zote, uangalia housing za Kenya zote, Wakisi wamehold hivi. Okay? So the Kisses and the Kikuyus are going to be persecuted together. Though sisi ndio tumekanyaga ODM na sisi ndio tumekaa ngangari kwa ODM, but we are going to be subject. Sisi ndio tutateswa. Unaelewa? So William Samoei Ruto is going to have a vendetta against two tribes. Unfortunately, si Waluya, itakuwa ni Wakisi, and that will be a political persecution. So I want to hear the view of my dear one, Mora. What do you think the Kisses should do right now? Should they support William Samoei Ruto, or should we craft a way so that we can have a pact with the Kikuyus so as we can evade the persecution of William Samoei Ruto? Just help me in that.
But okay, before she will come, and then I'll come after you.
Yeah. Let's say
sorry.
Then she will come after. You will come after her.
Ask me a question.
You want me to ask? Oh, now let Mr. Bundi. Now that word is difficult. Let me call you Alex. Now, Alex, you have to ask. She's asking you to ask her a question.
Yes, and I'll answer.
Now, Alex asked the question because mine will be almost like a submission.
Okay.
Alex, go ahead. What is your question, Alex?
Mora, which side should we take place as Kisi people? Are we safer in Samoei Ruto's government, or we should get a pact with our brothers in larger Mount Kenya? Do you think that development is going to the other side, and where we're safe? Just tell me.
As Kisses, I don't know where we are safe. Let me tell you, I don't know. Because from the other part, those people are too selfish. Even if we are going to support them, they might not remember us. And when it comes to Ruto's case, no, we can't be safe, we can't be safe because we threaten that man as Kisses. We are threatening him right now. He is against us right now, he's against us right now. So as Kisses, in general, we are not safe in anybody's hands, but at least we are fair off. hapa kwetu nyumbani Nyanza. And Ruto will kill us, and we should be careful. Whoever he's investing in buildings and matatus and whatever, change your plan right now, because Ruto mbele nyuma atatuleta chini. This time you have to find something else to do. You know, the reason he's bringing house levy and whatever, anajaribu kutuleta chini kipesa, financially. He's trying to pull us down, and those are our strengths. The houses, the matatus, and biashara zetu anajaribu kuzisukuma mwisho, na akizisukuma anajua atajua ametuleta chini. So we are not safe in Ruto's hands, neither are we safe hapa kwetu nyumbani Nyanza, but we are fair off huku nyumbani, because at least our businesses will be standing, and that is what we need. Yeah.
All right. Now, mine will be very simple. The day we move out from hii kasumba ya tribe Kisii, tribe Mount Kenya, tribe Stewart, that is the day we'll get the leaders we need. Unfortunately, there is where we find ourselves. We always vote based on our tribal lines. It's now that you will seriously hear one Alex passionately ask, where are we as Kisii? Where are we safe? Where will we vote from? I'm yet to hear Mr. G be extremely tribal, though Mr. G has a way of saying that Somali guy.
Okay, on my take.
Mohamed Ega alimkatasha hiyo kitu asiseme tena.
Yes. You know, we are not trying to be tribal here, but where are we safe?
Yeah, so my remarks were like this. You see, the issue is whenever we look at our politics from Mount Kenya, from Kisii, from blah blah blah, there is where we always get it wrong, because when Simba Arati messes up, we'll defend him from our Kisii level, not from the mistakes he has done, not from the maybe corruption, from the you know, from his mismanagement. We'll not judge him from that. We'll judge him from uni mtu wetu. You know, that's how we voted. We said hata akiba atatuletea ni mtu wetu, you know, hiyo mtu wetu thing, hiyo mtu wetu in terms of tribe, mtu wetu because anatoka region yetu, and that's why we have all this endless homecoming, and yet they serve the entire country, honestly. So some of these things, I say this with a lot of due respect to all of us. Politics za Kenya, they really seriously need to change from where I sit. And that is
they're
me.
Not going to change anytime soon.
They can. We are the generation to change it if we choose to.
Who you choose?
We are the generations that should change, because that forum should not just create what has always been there, what our forefathers and what the old politicians have been preaching.
That takes a lot. It's not gonna be easy. We are just going to find a way to handle the situation at the moment. This situation that we have in hand, it's the one we are going to handle.
If it takes one person at a time, it has still taken some progress. A step forward is a step of progress. So for me, from where I sit, we may sit here and argue what happens to this region now or later, but by the end of the day, our concern should be what happens to our country. But even as we wrap up, I want to hear from you, Mr. G. What do you make of the return of BBI? Who stands to benefit if it was to come through? Now let's talk about the leadership posts, because it proposes a prime minister, it proposes an office of the official leader opposition with 2 deputies. It equally has NGCDF, it has NGAF, it has Senate Oversight Fund. When you look at that proposal, who stands to benefit, and equally on the same breath, please tell me who stands to lose if this NATCO thing was to go through?
Jex, I don't know why you want to stop the conversation. It's too early to stop the conversation, and it's getting
I
too.
have a class. Unless you guys can continue in my absence, I have a class in the next few minutes.
Yeah, but on that issue, in that issue, I have to comment on what Alex has said. You know, Jex, look at what is happening Sai. Look at somebody like Margaret Wanjiru. Unaona ile kitu anapitia Sai. Go back to the other guy, the commander. Although I always call him a fake. The commander.
So how is she suffering? Is she suffering as a tribe, as a person, as a Christian?
I just connected.
What is the level of her suffering?
I just connected it na mambo ya land. What kina Alex are talking about here, the honorable Alex here. They are talking about how people are going to be persecuted, are going to suffer because of land. And it's very true. That's why I brought in that scenario. In all this business, in all these governments, watu wamekuwa, kina komanda wamekuwa na hizi mashamba. But they have not passed through what they are going to pass through at this moment. Why? We have to ask ourselves questions. Sahi tunaambiwa taxmen watakuwa naingia mpaka kwa manyumba zetu, mpaka kwa room waangalie nini uko nayo, waende wahesabu mang'ombe, wahesabu makuku. So, you know, tumefikia mahali ambapo the common mwananchi ndo anaenda kuumia sana. You see, so that issue hatuwezi rule out. Issue ya land and issue ya owner yuko business, hizi mambo za magari, hizi matatu and what, we need to talk and discuss about this issue because these people are going to suffer and yet they're not supposed to suffer.
All right.
Okay, I will leave it at that. Hiyo mambo ya land, but we need to discuss that thing. Okay, going to who will benefit on this issue of NADCO of maybe BBI kikuja. Yeah. You're saying something, Jex.
So, Jex, let me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jex, let me be very prolific about this. And I'm using the word prolific intentionally. Even if you want to run away from the politics of tribes, it exists in Kenya. Jex, you cannot divorce the politics of tribes where we are seated today. And that's why you heard Gachagua talk about the shareholders. In as much as we may try to refuse to talk about it, it exists, Jex. Let's agree to disagree agreeably on that. So the next thing you need to understand, Anna, how does tribes affect the politics and money and also power? I'll give you a developmental progress on how the Kisses became a powerhouse in Kenya. 1997, when Nyachai resigned as a minister of finance. Okay, he was the first minister to resign as a minister for finance. Wakakosana na Moi vibaya sana. During that time is when NDP and Moi merged together and they formed what is called New Kano. You remember that, Jex? When they formed the New Kano, what happened is that there's something called the Golden Handshake that came. You remember the era of Golden Handshake? Jex, can you remember that? So the Golden Handshake, when it came in, that particular time, 1998 to 2001, we never used to have visas going to the UK. Ulikuwa ukitaka kwenda UK unaenda without a visa from Kenya. So the Kisses started going there. When the green cards were introduced by Bill Clinton, 1996, the Kisses started coming to America. And that created a havoc
whereby you see today the matatu sector, the housing sector, and the reason Ruto is actually anatudai pesa is because we built ourselves in a political. You see, when you look at, I don't want to say it here, but Jex, I'll tell you later on. But if you look at the political persecution that is going to be here, we have never had such kind of vendetta. You may think it's a lie, but you will understand where we are headed to. It's going to be noisy and messy. And that is what Ruto wants to do in that country. If you look at when Mwai Kibaki came to power, he made sure that the KCC in Eldoret was killed completely, because and then he elevated the maize industry. Hapo ndio gunia moja ilikuwa inauzwa 3,500, but he killed the milk industry. If you remember that, you cannot divorce what is called tribes and tribalism from political mortgage in Kenya. Yes. Hata kama utaki kuongea hiyo, it will be part and parcel of us. You cannot. Because angalia sahi, Jackson, nataka nikuulize sahi. Mchele waru ya Kirinyaga, unasema cash crop ya Kirinyaga ni waru, si ndio? Angalia huko. Angalia Mwea. Now we are importing rice from Pakistan. Who is being killed politically there in terms of economics? The Kikuyus. And we must reduce them to the core so that they cannot, you cannot have 6 billionaires. 6 billionaires in one village. Eh? So that's why I'm telling you, Jack, hii maneno ya kukataa kuongea vitu za ukweli kabisa, wachana. Let's speak to the truth. Wacha watu wetu wajue huko kuwa watateswa. Ruto is concentrated in killing the Kikuyus politically and financially. And that's going to happen within our lifetime. Acha niachie bibi yangu aongee kidogo hapo. Maybe nimeongea vibaya, wacha ni sanitize.
Mama ni kwe against. Natusumbua sana. Anyway, you know, we have what we call situation in hand, and dreams and visions, and what we want and what we have to take. You know, sometimes you could be saying, I want to take meat, and you have a sukuma wiki. You cannot stop eating that sukuma wiki just because you want meat. You have to eat it because you're hungry. You see, we have to vote. We have to be in politics, and we have the situation in hand. You know, that tribalism is there, and it's going to be there, and it's not going to fade away anytime soon. So we have to accept it. The only thing we have to do is to see where we safe. Where we safe. That at the moment, that is the only solution at the moment. You know, to try and get away with the tribalism, that will take years. That will take time to try and do away with the tribalism thing. That will take time. But we have this situation which is in hand. We have to deal with it. We have to give solutions to it before we try and think of the next move and how to try and amend this whole situation, this all messed up situation. That is gonna take time. But the situation at hand is we must be in that tribalism. We have to. No excuse. You have to be there. You have to. You say, yeah, that is the case. You have to, my dear Jakes. We have to be tribalistic. We have to. Hey, we have to, Jakes.
And when I was giving my submission, I think kuna vile uli interject. You are muted, Mr. Jakes. Uko muted.
Unajua, I wanted kuwa muted nitoroke kama nyamji, but anyway, go ahead and if you guys want to continue, I'll have to leave you. I have like 10 minutes to prepare, so
Jax, let's finish this session, and then I think we'll have a TikTok. Let's start at the TikTok one, because I think it's formidable in TikTok, and I think our supporters will be able to support us in TikTok more than the YouTube. Please.
Okay, I wanted to give my submission. I wanted to give just kidogo submission on that issue that Mr. Alex asked, on this issue of Kisii joining hands with the Central Kenya so that they can wanaweza ponyoka hii mambo ya kufinywa sifinywa na Ruto. My question was now, do we have people in Kisii and people in Central Kenya that they can generate this thing to work so that wanaweza kuevade the punishment ambayo itakuja by Ruto? Because when I look at Kisii is based on ODM na ni watu ambao wako royal to baba, whereby I think itakuwa ngumu sana wajitoe kwa ODM ama wajitoe kwa baba waseme now let's join with this people from Central Kenya just to avoid what is coming to destroy us. Inakuwa ni kama a challenge kidogo. So siji kama ita happen, but what I know ni kuwa Ruto is somebody that doesn't care. Akiana kukuua atakuua na hautapata evidence. Okay, Alex.
This is the conundrum of the quagmire. I want you to elevate these two words, the conundrum and the quagmire that the Kisiis are going through. We are deeply embedded in ODM, but we are not safe in ODM. Did you hear what I said? If today to seek a political office, even though I love Baba to hell, I will not seek it under ODM. And I'm running 2027. You'll see me in August House. Take it to the bank. However, the question is, where are we safe as a community? That is the conundrum and the quagmire that the Kisiis are going through. I swear to you.
And Alex, on this issue ambayo umeleta sahi, you will be on the ballot 2027, and you believe in truth. But some few days ago, tulikuwa na this show, and you say that, and I think it is also in the Machiavelli's book. You told us that in politics, ukiwa truthful, you may end up not getting any votes. So you have to use some uongo kidogo to craft so that you can lie to these people and wakuchague. Alex is one guy ambaye anapenda ukweli. Now, sir, how will you change from this truth? Uanze kuambia watu kweli, uanze kuambia watu uongo. You look at what Nene alikuwa anafanya. Look at what Ruto used to do. Anatuambia kwa kuna tu vene nini magic ita happen, economy change from nowhere, tupate tu pesa kwanza kupatia watu. So those are the lies ambao Ruto alikuwa anapitia.
Can I ask you a question?
To leave.
Just hold on before you leave. Just let me ask.
Allow me to leave.
Just a second.
No,
Mr. G.
I need to. My time is almost up. I don't have to be late for class.
Just hold on. We are finishing. I want us to finish on a good tempo.
Give us 2 minutes. 2 minutes only.
Yeah, Mr. G.
All right.
Do you know somebody called Walter Nyambati?
Nyambati, that name is somehow not familiar too much to me. I don't kama pitia mahali, lakini I'm not really sure.
My father was a politician. Do you know somebody called Anyona?
Yeah, Anyona, I know him.
Anyona is Anyona, I'm a relative to him. Do you know Simbarat?
I know Simbarat.
That is my best friend. I'm telling you, I come from a political family. Ikifika ni siasa, I will play it. And I'm going full throttle. Si ati ni kitu nitakuja kupembeleza hapa Jex. Ikifika ni siasa, I'll play siasa. Hakuna ukweli nitaongea huko. Because people like lies.
That's where now I'm trying to figure out how utaanza kuongea hii kudanganya watu wakupigie kura. How you'll start lying. Hapo sana jaribu kufigure out how it will happen.
If people want to listen to lies, what will I do? And I want a political office, Jex. What will I?
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
No, I think Alex, this thing is so sweet, but I think itabidi tukate kwa sababu naona Jex hata hayuko hapa kabisa. Maliza tu
Just give people
Can I
time.
go?
We have to do other things.
Okay, let's finish today and then to meet later on. Thank you, Mr. Jex. Today you have met my wife here.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I really feel so bad. That will never happen in this planet. I can assure you that you will never see. Never.
I did the wrong thing today, isn't it?
No. You did fantastic. Mora, you are just but amazing. Thank you so much for being part of this fantastic show. Equally, make sure you subscribe so that whenever your hubby is on, you'll always catch her on. And equally, you, our viewers, thank you. Today we were privileged to have these two couple, and I don't know if it's me.
He just fooled me.
Yes, Mora. Sorry?
If he had requested, Alex could have said no. You know?
Oh.
So you
All
smart
right.
ahead. If you could have said it, Alex could have said no.
Okay.
So that's when you.
It's good to have a panelist who is a
All
woman.
right.
They bring a good voice. And please invite her more often to give us a point of view from a woman's point of view. And I think you will have a great panelist here.
All right. Thank you so much, Mora, Sylvia, and equally, Mr. G. I don't do this normally, you guys know, but today I seriously have to go. But we have another show in the evening, so we are not ending the show. We are putting a pause. But these guys have the admin rights. It's venye tu hawataki kuendelea. Not that nimemaliza wangeendelea. You know, the show is so sweet. Wangeendelea. So I don't know. Now that they don't want to continue in my absence, allow me to do them the honors of really wishing them the very best. They continue with the day. And equally, you, our viewers, thank you so much for comment section. You guys are just but amazing. Dominic Liasia, Laisa, Asante Sana, John Kuria, I saw you. Kamau Joe, I see you. Mama Mboga, I see you. And many ambao mko mnatutazama. Thank you very, very much. Asante sana equally to those who we are partnering with, Mtembei and for Kenya News. And equally, this is Kenya News Link, where we ask you to kindly subscribe. Yes. Hit that subscription button. Let's subscribe to Kenya News Link. As you have seen, we are really working hard to give you a nice presentation. I know you love the screen today. It looks... How is the screen, guys? How is the screen, Mr. G? How do you love the screen?
It is so great. And I think
Madam
Sylvia should be coming often, every time and then anafaa akikuja, because he has something that I think we need in our discussion.
All right.
He has
Alex, how do you love
it?
No, I mean, it's been great to have this show. And I think one thing that we are doing that is not right, we should subscribe to Sound Candy Talk. We should put one of our channels there, because I've had many people ask me why I'm not going there, but they want us to put it on also Sound Candid, so that we can have more subscribers. But I think it was fantastic. It was nice to have Mora here today. She brings a melody of good cuteness, and she's political too in a good way. So Jex, you are a good moderator, and Mr. G as my friend, always nice to have you. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you very, very much. I'm equally grateful for you guys. I will talk with Brother Bernard about that. But above all, this is Kenya News Link. Here we ask you to really feel free to engage with us. I am a person who loves divergency, and I love all forms of sentiments. I'll listen to you or rather Kenyans will listen to you because you guys choose to listen to us. Thank you so much, Mora, Sylvia. It was quite an honor to have you. Mr. G Kamakawa, man, when jamaa wangu wa power, one of these fine days we shall change your name from G to Power. Thank you so much. Asante bwana Alex, I'm telling you, unakuanga tu jamaa wa kishua. Times wewe unatuweka chini but we ni sawa sawa. Thank you very, very, very much. And equally to you, our subscribers, to you, our viewers, you guys are just but amazing. This is Kenya News Link. Here we keep it as it is, and make sure you subscribe to Kenya News Link. Hakikisha umesubscribe, guza notification, na tutakuwa tunakufikia kile inapofika hii masaa ya asubuhi na pia jioni mida ya saa 4. Thank you very much. See you at 10 p.m. We will keep it locked here at Kenya News Link. Hakikisha umesubscribe. Subscription ni free of charge. Subscribe free of charge. Na unapata content free of charge. Content nzuri. Watu watamu, vitu safi, vitu kali. This is Kenya News Link. And kama kawa, I must leave you with a song. I leave you with this song and make sure you enjoy it and equally subscribe to Kenya News Link. See you at 10 p.m. East African time. And of course, I'm your host, Jakes, the moderator. Goodbye, good morning, good evening.
Tunasonga mbele watu wote wa Jamhuri Kenya yetu. Tunasonga mbele watu wote wa Jamhuri Kenya yetu. Haya sisi sote wananchi tushangilie. Eko Jamhuri, eko Jamhuri, sote eko Jamhuri Kenya yetu yaenda mbele. Eko Jamhuri, sote eko Jamhuri, eko Jamhuri Kenya yetu yaenda mbele. Mwaka wa 60 umefika, tangu Kenya iwe huru. Mwaka wa 60 umefika, tangu Kenya iwe huru. Haya sisi sote wananchi tushangilie. Eko Jamhuri, eko Jamhuri, sote eko Jamhuri Kenya yetu yaenda mbele. Eko Jamhuri, sote eko Jamhuri, eko Jamhuri Kenya yetu yaenda mbele. Twaenda mbio, Kenya yaenda mbele. Kwa elimu twaenda mbele, matibabuni twaenda mbele, viwandani twaenda mbele, na mashambani twaenda mbele. Eko Jamhuri, sote eko Jamhuri, eko Jamhuri Kenya yetu yaenda mbele. Eko Jamhuri, eko Jamhuri, sote eko Jamhuri Kenya yetu yaenda mbele. Tunajivunia Kenya nchi yetu, kweli yapendeza, kweli yavutia. Tunajivunia Kenya nchi yetu.